Yeah. All right, Shalom. 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 We the Hebrew Israelites back out here at the week of prophesying the downfall of America. But before we get started, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles at GMS who continue to teach and rule well, and peace and safety to the icons across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, so we come in week in, week out to prophesy to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are Israelites according to the scriptures. All right, that you are the chosen people. That you are the chosen people. All right, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Now, you're chosen to be above all these other nations, all right? And you know, you should act accordingly, all right? Because we were given these scriptures, man. Not the white man, all right? Not these other heathens, okay? So if you could give me Deuteronomy 76, because, you know, we're meant to be above these other nations, man. These other nations are counted as spittle to the house of all right?
Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. For there are an holy people unto the Lord thy power.
A holy people, okay? All right, we're separate from these other nations, man. We're above them. All right, we're better than them, okay? And you want to call us racist? That's right, we are racist. All right, to be racist is a sign of intelligence, man. That means you favor your own race, all right? You feel that your race is superior than all the others, okay? But fuck, when we feel the scriptures, according to the scriptures, it say that we are above all these other nations, all right? Thus saith the Lord. Go ahead.
John. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Yeah, a special people to himself. We're the apple of the Most High's eye, man. All right? Go ahead.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all the people that are on the face of the earth. Okay, not equal to, okay, not equality. We're above, okay? We're meant to be rulers, man. And we should act accordingly, man. We don't necessarily need to be out here acting like these heathens, man, and taking on the customs of America, man. Celebrating all these wicked ass holidays, all right? Eating all kind of abominable things, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to us by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, that's not for us, man. All right, we were given the laws, okay, not these other nations. All right, with sin is transgression of the law. These other nations don't have the ability to do that because the law wasn't given to them. All right.
And also, you know, you other nations are under us, you know. As the scripture says, you know, we are special people. We are God's chosen people. Yasharella, man.
That's right.
All the way starting from you Negroes, all the way down to so-called Issachar, which is Mexicans, man. We are special people. We gotta wake up and notice that, man. Through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that the world isn't even called Jesus Christ. This is Isaiah 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are accounted as the small dust of a balance.
Yeah, that counted as a drop of a bucket, man. Imagine if you had a bucket full of water and one drop fell out. Man, you ain't gonna be stunning that shit.
They're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, these nations ain't shit, man. Less than. Less than.
Yeah. Wait, nothing. Wait out to nothing.
Yeah.
Behold, he taketh up the idols as a very little thing.
Yes, a very little thing, man. Hey, that doesn't sound like being equal to me. Okay, that sounds like you're insignificant. Okay, yeah.
God.
You're the opposite of us, man. We're inferior. You're inferior. Okay.
God. You can look at us today. So-called Mexicans, which are Issachar. You know, look at the sports. You know, we're better than you. The Israelites dominate literally almost every sport. You know.
If I could answer, you look at baseball, which is America's favorite sport. Baseball is a sport that's dominated by the Northern Kingdom. Right? You know, Dominicans, all the whole Major League Baseball is filled of nothing but Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans. You know, you had that Native American that came out of Georgia that just went to the Yankees. I think his name was something Spielberg or something of that nature. I forget his name, but he's bad. Pitch both hands, bat both hands, catch both hands. You know, ain't no Edomites doing that in the spirit, man.
Yeah. So basically, You heathens ain't got nothing on us, man.
Right.
You know? You guys can't be compared to the Israelites. But I'm going to continue. Verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
So not nothing, but less than nothing. That's a negative, man. You're not even at zero. You're below, man. All right. You know, in school you had the number line, and you had to go to the left to get the negative. That's your other nations, man.
That's right.
Shark, what was that movie? Shark Tales or some shit back in the day?
Shark Tales.
Shark Tales, and you had, and I think Will Smith's character was like a shrimp or something, and he went and we was talking to the sharks and shit, and the sharks pulled out the chart. He's like, "This is where you are." He's like, "This is where you are." He's like, "Matter of fact, you." He was like, "Matter of fact, you're actually beneath the shit, man. The shit from the shrimp."
God damn.
That's you other nations. You're not even on the chart with us, man.
That's right.
You're less than the fecal matter that comes from us.
Well, the scriptures say that Esau is smaller than the earth. So he's far beneath.
And another thing, man, you know, we say that to say that we are above all these other nations.
Okay.
And we say that.
She wanna
Say-
conceal herself.
Right.
Like she's a scholar. Like she went to biblical evidence and
Right.
actually studied it. You just heard a nigga say that.
Right.
This is another picture.
So adulterous.
Yeah, no.
Right. Probably getting ready to go blow squad or some shit right now.
Yeah.
Or check.
Yeah, you talking about
For free.
25 cents.
For free.
Alright, now back to the regular scheduled program. Alright,
Just condemn themselves real just
Right.
like that.
Like Snoop Dogg on yeah. We was interrupted by that big headed bitch.
alright. We're saying we're above these other nations, man, and don't get it confused. Okay, all Israelites are not gonna come 6'8" with muscles like LeBron James big head ass. Alright. And the scriptures say that we will scatter amongst all the other nations.
right.
Okay, and once that happens, you know, Jake like to mingle. All right, we like to get in some. All right, so with that, you know, we're gonna have Israelites that look like these, all these other nations, man. You can give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64.
Come.
Yeah, because you got a lot of simple niggas out here, man, that'll look at a so-called white man or a so-called goddamn Chinese with all the flavor in the world and call them a goddamn Negro, all right? Which tells you you're not studying, you're not learning, and you're not eating the whole roll, all right? You're picking and choosing which scriptures that you want to so-called believe in.
And really, the spirit just ain't dealing with it.
Yeah, ultimately, the spirit is not dealing with you, all right? Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all nations, all people. Salah.
And if you're familiar with Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter goes into the curses, starting from verse 15 on down, that we would face as a nation if we continue, if we went off. All right. So what did it say?
Come, I'm gonna continue. It says, from the one end of the earth. Oh, God. Starting from the top, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Yep.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Yeah, from one end of the earth into the other, man. From the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere, man. All right. North, south, east, and west, man. We have Israelites, man, that may look like these other nations, man. But you can't tell me that, let's say Bruce Lee is a goop, man.
Yeah.
Come on now. You gotta be simple as hell to believe that's a goop. Hey man, these goops can't even chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. Let alone be the shit like Bruce Lee.
I know it. Because hey, Bruce Lee, he was multi-talented.
Yeah.
You just know of him and his martial arts format, and that's what he dominates. But that wasn't the only thing that Bruce Lee did.
There's the salsa, man.
And then his proverbial saying, so to speak, the wisdom that used to come out of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was a very wise individual, man. That's how we know that he's Jake.
You gotta be simple as hell to believe that.
Playing ping pong with nunchucks.
And you're just in that deep sleep. Right? When Israel have attained, roughly paraphrasing, the seeking for which the elect have already obtained. All right, because we can see through the spirit that these Israelites that look like these other nations, all right, are truly Israelites through the Spirit.
Yeah. All right. Like I say, the scriptures tell us that Israel is numbered as the sands of the sea.
Yeah.
That means that there's more Israelites than the other nations. All right. So, like a lot of you people with that attitude, you know more. We just gonna use the state of Georgia because we here. A lot of you've never been out of your local city in Georgia, so you're not cultured. You're not experienced. You don't have any dealings with the other nations to know and to pick up on little things in the spirit that, man, that's a Jake right there, man. Because truly, you don't know what a Jake is.
That's right.
You don't know what a Jake is. You don't know what an Edomite is. You don't know what a Ishmaelite is. You don't know what an Elamite is. You just basing it off of simplistic ass colors and lands, man. Right?
Yeah, because I be having to catch myself on the job. I see, you know, a person that look like a so-called heathen with a soul, man. And I might say to myself, man, that ain't a white person. They be looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. And I have to remember, man, that people are simple, man. They look at and take everything for face value. They don't have the spiritual eye to discern. So, man, I just be quiet.
That's it.
Because everything I say will go over these people's heads.
Yeah, like you have that term, and it's known in the hip hop industry, blue-eyed soul. Blue-eyed soul basically it's so-called white people that look white, but they have they have that black flavor within them. And where they get that from? It's the spirit that's actually in them, man.
Yeah.
Like this one individual that sings that dun 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 dun. What's that?
That's
I forget what the song called, but you can't tell me that's a so-called white man.
Talking about Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald.
What you want to do for love?
Yeah, do for love, yeah.
Amongst
You got the Bee Gees. Yeah, you got the Bee Gees.
Well, leave it in Zabot.
Tina Marie.
Oh yeah.
Leave it in Zabot. Edomite is Eminem is an Edomite.
Right.
This nigga is from fucking 8 Mile in Detroit.
The worst. It went through the ghetto.
Went through the curses, but because you don't like white rappers or whatever you call, he's just a goddamn Edomite. You people, this thing fully blows up. This thing's gonna be amazing, and the Spirit always have us talk about this subject matter because, like the brother said, we gotta be prepared for it, man. Because out of nowhere, it's gonna start being so-called, it look like a goddamn group in the camp. He gonna be blasting you niggas.
Hell yeah.
And Chinese.
And the nation that he looked like.
It might
Man,
be
they
a whole
going into
camp.
slavery.
Right.
A whole camp somewhere in the outskirts of Shanghai, China. It's all so-called Chinese people, but they got on garments. They know the
Spirit.
Hebrew. Or like
Coming in
that
the
brother,
name of Yahweh Shemi Shai.
like that brother in the Philippines. You know, he asked us to pray for him so he can get more brothers, man. He built up in the spirit. A whole camp in the Philippines, looking like what's the boxer? Manny Pacquiao. You know?
Condemning the Philippines.
Yep.
Come, this is Proverbs 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
Yeah, how long, man? How long will you simple ones love simplicity? And to look at a person and judge them, all right, based on what they look like physically is simplicity. All right? Go ahead.
Come, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Yeah, man. And fools hate knowledge. Okay, because everything that you need to know, all right, spiritually are in the scriptures. But ultimately, like the brother said, the Most High just not dealing with you, man. You can't see that. Something as simple as that. All right. And after I heard the breakdown of being scattered among all the other nations, that was a no-brainer to me.
Right, that was it.
Right.
And I'm not the smartest goddamn man in the world. All right, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, so to speak. But that was pretty simple to me.
Yeah, because the scriptures speak about the simplicity of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
And this isn't rocket science, This isn't something with super mechanical work. It's simple, man. It's basic.
Right.
You don't need Dexter's laboratory to realize that we've scattered all over the place.
Right. You don't need to.
Go ahead.
Well, now I'm just gonna say because you don't have to go into the DNA like a lot of these other Israelite groups. They go into Africa and they try to break down the chromosomes and go into the DNA of who's from this tribe or that tribe. You don't have to do that, man. Scripture says the spirit itself bears witness with our spirit. The spirit of the scriptures, like brothers have mentioned about the curses, Eminem went through the curse in Detroit, the spirit, Lord, witness with him that he went through the curses, so he got to be an Israelite. You know, amongst the other brothers and sisters out there, man, scattered amongst them. It's just a matter of, you know, really being in tune with what you're reading. You know?
Bring this out real quick. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. And it reads, moreover, all these curses, hold on real quick. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45, and it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of thy Lord, the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Yeah, so if you are going through these curses, man, that's a sign that you could possibly, or maybe an Israelite, man. All right? If you get this white trailer trash that's the scum of the earth, man, most likely, you know, they're Israelites.
A lot of those hillbillies.
Yeah.
A lot of them hillbillies in Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky. Those are Israelites, man. All right, because when you go into history, which these other camps and these other groups, they don't do that.
Right.
They just come up with a blanket statement and just, that's it. He's a heathen. Oh, okay. But when you look at the a lot of those Irish, a lot of those Italians, when they was coming over here for work, right, to be basically indentured servants, they fell in places like that. Virginia, West Virginia. Like if you watch these shows, they'll show you one of the main dishes that what they call the hillbillies eat. It's all Italian fucking food, man. All spaghetti and pastas and stuff, because that's their forefathers coming over here from Italy and Spain, Ireland, and coming over here and for work. You know?
And it's actually a clip. I forget what movie it was from, but you had the two individuals having a dialogue. They were like mobsters or whatnot, and one of them looked like he was going to get knocked off. Like True Romance. And he basically was telling them, like, your forefathers are niggas. You know? And he was speaking about the Moors and they basically roamed out and actually had sex with all the so-called white women and things of that nature. And they produced fruit, so to speak. And he said that to him, and he cracked up. He was laughing, and he was thinking it was humorous. But the truth is, the directors, the producers, they go into the literature, they go into the history, they go into artifacts, they go into paintings, frescoes, all kind of murals that was actually located in that time.
Word of mouth.
Because even to do these certain dealing with Italy, dealing with Sicily, those be like period pieces, man.
Yeah.
You got to really get into the history to really film, and you have to actually get into the time period to actually record and produce those films. So these individuals know what's up.
And you couldn't do a time movie on Alexander the Greek. You don't even understand that basic Greek history. You just couldn't say, I'm gonna do a movie on Alexander the Greek, and okay, so what are you doing it on? What was happening? What were they wearing? What were they eating? How was their day going? What time did they get up in the morning? What time did they go to bed? You gotta know all that shit, man.
If I could add something, when we're talking about the Sicilians, you had basically in the early 1900s when the so-called immigrants was coming to this country, you had a lot of Sicilians that went down into the New Orleans region.
Yeah, that's true.
And they was catching hell just like the so-called black man, because there was a period, I think it was 1914, that there was mass lynchings among the Sicilians because they spoke Italian and they had like dark brown skin. Now who only catches hell like that? Israelites.
Hey, you know what?
You say Israelites.
It's a movie, because during I forget war, I think which world war was it where Italy got invaded? Was it the first one or the second one?
The first one.
I think it was the first one, right? And the first one, yeah. There's a movie that depicts how rough it was over there for those Italians, where basically they had to turn to straight cannibalism, where basically people would come and visit the town, and you come in and they trick your ass. And then the butcher will take you and chop you up and feed you to the people. Because the guy was visiting, he was like, how did they get meat during this time period? Not knowing they was catching visitors and chopping them up and feeding them. So that's scripture that goes into that portion of their curses, man. The Walking Dead kind of shit, yeah. I got it. All right, this is in the same book, Deuteronomy 28 and 25. And it reads, and the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and shall flee 7 ways before them,
Right.
and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Yeah, and we see that today, man. So to think that we're just going to dwell in a concentrated area and all look the same is simplicity, man. Like I said earlier.
Yeah.
All right. That's stupid.
That's how you said that, because not only look the same, but speak the same language, the culture. Because when we started to go through the Hellenization, go through these different lands, our culture started to mix. And not only did our culture mix, but you actually had genetic mix. That's why you have like genetic mutations, so to speak, recessive genes. Our people, they had dominant genes, which we all know the natural dominant genes is dark skin, brown hair, brown eyes. But when they started dealing with the recessive nations, which of course you learned that in biology in school, blue eyes, straight hair, all these things. When you deal with a recessive nation, the generation after, or the next lineage, they're gonna have a mixture of dominant and recessive genes.
Pops up. They little boxes.
Yeah, you like
What's it called? Yeah, but you know the boxes.
You write the capital letter and the lowercase.
And they'll tell you
Yeah.
at this
Dominant.
maybe this generation or another generation, this mutation or this like pop that up. That's why through the spirit, a black man, a black woman can have children, and then out of nowhere a white child come out of it because it's a recessive gene.
And if I can say too, it's true. You so-called confusing the faces, which you are confusing the faces. Most of you guys are Israelites, man. You know, you guys go through the same curses as us too. I was on a job, and you know, I meet a lot of confusing the faces, and I was with one of them. You know, he looks like a so-called Edomite, but he was rapping every lyrics of the rap song, and he was dancing and shit. And then he was like, "Yeah, man, people say I act black. You know, I know I ain't no fucking cracker." I said, I looked at him, I said, "Yeah, bro, you ain't no fucking cracker. You were Irish, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah, how you know that?" And I was like, "All through the." He's like, the spirit.
Yeah.
I just can't, yeah. Oh, God. Finish 64.
Stop at the top.
Go. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Yeah, and when we were scattered, man, we took women of these other nations, man, and had offspring with them. All right, and you know, we always like to use Blake Griffin as an example. Okay, if you look at his father and his mother, he has a black father, in which we all know the father carries the seed. Okay, so if your father is an Israelite, then you're of the same line, okay, or lineage. All right, so his dad is a dark-skinned man, but his mother is a white woman. Okay, now Blake Griffin, he's kind of in between. He looks like a light-skinned Jacob, but if you look at his son, okay, on down the line, all right, he looks like a complete straight up Edomite.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, like a goddamn cracker. Blonde hair, blue eyes, man. All right.
What if he pops a pale ass white woman
Right.
and get her pregnant with that child? The child will come out dark skinned.
Right. Then,
Like that.
yeah, from his son on down, man, and if he deals with, you know, white women, hey, that whole line may, you know, end up
With
looking.
the Asian one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Throw a whole nother
yeah.
twang
Throw it
in
the
it.
pot.
Yeah. Right.
Fusion of face.
Yeah. So what you call that? So, and I'll pose the question: if you're a so-called Israelite and you pop a white woman and your son comes out looking like a white man, you gonna call him an Edomite to his face and cast him out the house?
Right.
You ain't my son, right? It's simple.
You was cheating on me.
Right.
You ever threw him telling his son, "Nah, you a devil."
Right. Goddamn, kick his son out the house and goddamn, as a newborn, goddamn, put him up for adoption.
Make it simple, man.
That baby real
This is
hell, that baby ain't
son
mine.
Amalek. Yeah.
God. Bring out what you got, Cesar.
Yeah, this all right, this is Psalms 106. Psalms 106 and this is 33. It says, well, I start 32. It says, they angered him also at the waters of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. And this is just going into the history of Israel. All right. It says they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So this is going back to the time of Moses. Right? Going back to the time of Moses. So you had Israelites that were mingled amongst the heathen, whether it be Moab, because they show you that that's in the book of Ruth. You had Israelites among the Moabites, you know, living amongst them. So if they had, so you had Israelites in Moab, we had some amongst Ammon, some amongst probably Ishmael, right? And then it says they learned, Joel, right? It says they learned their works. So they learned certain customs and certain things that the heathen did, which going down the line, if this son saw his father doing this, then he's not going to be keeping the commandments. Okay, he may not even be looking like an Israelite. So that's the same thing all the way up until this day. Okay, and I got one more. This is verse 47. It says, "Save us, O Yahweh our power, and gather us from among the heathen, to give thanks unto thy holy name, and to triumph in thy praise." All right, so the Lord is at the same time, he's going to gather us from amongst those heathen, you know, the elect. He's going to put us back in the rightful place. You know?
Right for home. I got a precept too.
So Joshua 16:10. And they drave not out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites unto this day, and serve under tribute.
So just like the brother was saying, you know, the Canaanites dwelled among us at certain times. When we left Egypt, you had the mixed multitude, and we was mixing amongst the people. We was having sex with Moses. He had a Ethiopian wife, you know. And a lot of times in the scriptures, we got rebuked and got on for dealing with other nations' women, because we would deal with the nations and actually attach ourselves onto the culture. Such as Solomon, King Solomon, he was dealing with Moabites, Ammonites, and he was the king. So how much more all the Israelites that were underlings under them? They knew the king was there. Here it is, she got 1,000 women. You think he's hiding that from the nation? Right. Hiding 1,000 women in the building? Nah, it was that was publicly known. That's why even the scholar, of course, that actually wrote about that, he spoke about how Solomon actually went off. So actually, he was a witness of all the women that Solomon was dealing with. Same thing with the rest of the men. Those other men were dealing with other women too. You know? Would you had a question?
Concerning the mixed multitude that came out of Egypt, were those, you have heathens, or it was just Israelites who had heathen wives?
Basically, it was heathens that was dwelt in the quarters of with Israelites. And that's why it speaks about later on through the 40 years of us walking around the land. What was that that region?
Wilderness.
Yeah, the area before we went into the land of Jericho. The Israelites, their generations basically fell off. So basically, we cleansed our nation through that 40-year wilderness circle. It was the wilderness of Zin. That wilderness of Zin circle, it basically cut off the previous generation. And that's when you had Joshua and Caleb, and they started to circumcise the Israelites and basically renewing them. So when they basically took over the lands, they would be actually, you know, fully. They would the heathen nations would be fully filtered out or weaned out.
So the heathens were in the midst when the Lord gave us commandments.
Well, the heathens was always in the midst, because the thing is, we was in the midst of the heathens. So at the same time, the heathen were in the midst of us at a certain time. Like I just said, the example, Moses had an Ethiopian woman. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't the only Israelite. We kind of got, when you read the scriptures, you got to think about the reality.
I think about millions of people.
Yeah. You got to think about thousands, millions of people. Was he the only Israelite? No. In certain cases where certain people would be mixed in. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it speaks about at the end of the days, which at this time now we fully don't even know. We don't have records like we had back in the day where we could actually see a brother's full genealogical line, know that he's one so-and-so, one Judah, one Ephraim. We don't know these things. It's a confusion of faces. We got discontinued from our heritage, but that's why everything is all faith and all for the spirit. And then at the end of the day, we let the Most High and the angels do their job, which is being the reapers, all right? Because the Lord said that he's going to gather through the angels, and the angels are going to sever the righteous from the wicked. So whether a man might be in the spirit, say for instance, somebody is an Edomite, just as an example, That's the angel's job. When the gatherers come and they gather, it's not going to be tares gathered with the wheat. The tares is going to be burned up, and the wheat is going to be gathered. That's why the Lord said He's going to sift the house of Israel.
Yeah, if I can add a little bit more. Like when you go into that history, when we came out of Egypt, right? You had that account of you had the Israelite woman was actually married to an Egyptian, right? And her son had mocked the name of the Lord. You can find that account in Exodus. He had mocked the name of the Lord, and they had sent him to Moses to see what shall be done to him, and they stoned him. So he was put to death. Like the brother was saying, you had more than just Moses being married to you, but you had Israelite women and men married to heathen. But what had happened was because our people was wicked, over a certain amount of years and a certain amount of time, you can go through.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
It's fine. It's fine. Over a certain amount of time, that first generation that actually came out of Egypt, all of them were killed. Over the time when the Lord killed 23,000, this many, that many, and the only ones of that generation were two, like the brother said, was Joshua and Caleb. Every Israelite after that grew up, right? They were from children, and they had to be raised up into the cousins of Israel and keep the laws and commandments. And to answer your question, yes, the heathen were among Israel when the commandments were given. That's why the Lord could stone that son that blasphemed his name, because the commandment was already given out that thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Okay?
I got precept too. So Jeremiah 12 and I started. Y'all go to 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
Yeah, as a speckled bird. If you look up a speckled bird, it has all different colors of feathers, man. And that's what the scriptures are comparing the nation of Israel to. All right? And that goes to further, show you that we're not going to come looking all one way, man. All right? As a speckled bird.
Diverse.
Yeah, and it's our heritage.
Oh yeah. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
Yeah. Come.
Yeah. Nah, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, we don't know who we are as a people, so we do take on other heritages and customs of the heathens, while we're being mixed in with them, okay? Because our heritage has been stripped away from us. All right.
It says, the birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to the bower. And like I said, the birds round about are against her. The birds round about are the other nations. Like when you look up, when you look at, of course, the 12 tribes chart, when we drew up that, you had, of course, Judah, you had Simeon, you had Levi, all the 12. With Levi's lived in the suburbs amongst the 12 tribes. But you had all the 12 tribes, but you had outside of the 12 tribes, you had the land of Moab, the land of Ammon, the land of Edom, all these different lands. Now, of course, that affected us to a certain degree. Certain nations went into our land. Sometimes we had to get passage to go out into other lands. Certain people, just like to this day, some people, all Israelites don't just stay in this one city. Some people got to work. Some people got to go to certain other quarters. Like you have Uriah the Hittite. Now, he was in the land of the Hittites. For what reason? It doesn't go into all that. But we know he's an Israelite by default, by certain characteristics. Same thing with Job when he lived in the land of Uz. Now, he lived in those quarters for a certain reason. Does it go into it specifically? No, but at the end of the day, it's everything is for a reason. Now, we don't have all the intricacies and all the what job, what was Job's occupation, how much he made a year. We don't need all those. All we need is the scriptures to actually give us the understanding, and we can actually go from there, so to speak.
If you go into the law, if you go into the law, especially doing like with the Passover, like the 3 main high holy days, Passover, Feast of Weeks, Feast of Tabernacles, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, He put provision, so to speak, in there of how when you have strangers come from other lands to actually keep the Passover. That was in the law. Now, during the time of Moses, Israel was coming out of Egypt at that time, all right? But it was already understood, even within the law, that there was going to be Israelites dwelling in other lands, coming from other places amongst the heathen to actually come and worship the Heavenly Father in the land of Israel in Jerusalem. An example of that is in Acts the 2nd chapter. You had certain devout Jews come from wherever they came from, all right, to actually keep the Passover. You know, I got to put some clear.
If you read that real quick.
Come, this is Exodus 22 and verse 21.
And you said in the law. What?
Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Now it says right there, thou shalt not vex. Or what does it say?
Verse 22, it says, Salah, nor oppress
a stranger. Now I'm going to read this. This is Deuteronomy 23 and 22. And it says, unto a stranger, well, I said at 20 and 19, it's Deuteronomy 23 and 19. And it says, thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. So that's interest. Verse 20. But it says, unto a stranger, thou mayest lend upon usury. So it just said right there, to not vex, to oppress. There's no higher form of oppression than to apply interest rates onto money that I'm already low and down bad. I need money. And you're going to add a 10%, 20% interest rate on top of it? But it's saying right here, upon a stranger, thou mayest lend upon usury, but upon thy brother, thou shalt not lend upon usury. The Lord thy power may bless thee in all that thou settest thy hands to do, and the land whither thou goest to possess it. So it's clearly making a distinction between strangers. There's two different types of strangers being spoken of in the law. So they're going to show you, like you were saying earlier, even back then, if this wasn't already occurring, where you had Israelites that were Israelites living in other lands prior to the giving of the oral law, the laws on the stones, the Most High never would have said this. He never would have put that in there.
So the thing is, when you go into the word stranger, you got three words for stranger.
Yep.
In the scriptures, you got gar, zakar, and I think the third one is nawar. Nakar, gar, and zawar. If I'm not mistaken.
It's three.
Yes, it's three of them. But just like the brother said, it's a large distinction of those words. That's why you gotta look up words. You gotta read context, because like the brother is basically going into the context of the scriptures, how this oppression. This shows oppression and this shows leniency, so to speak. This shows not to actually discharge oppression. So you got to read the scripture to actually know how to filter it out and go into the words. Because even the same thing with like a heathen and a Gentile, those are two different words. The word heathen means country dweller. And why are we like the other nations, or why did we become heathens? Because we started to dwell in certain countries, and with dwelling in countries that we took on their customs. That's what made us Gentiles. And the word Gentile means foreigner. How did we become foreign? Because we became strangers or foreign from our natural commonwealth and our natural practices, and we started to follow the ways, and we started to conduct ourselves like the heathen, hence becoming heathens and Gentiles, foreigners and strangers. The brother got a precept, if not,
there's another account too in the law where it talks about the Passover.
Yeah, I got a quick precept. Jeremiah 40 and 11. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites and in Edom that were in all the countries heard that the king of Babylon had left the remnant of Judah, and that he had set over them Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan. So it spoke about how the Jews that were in Moab, they were in the land of the Ammonites and in Edom. So the thing is, when they was in the land, some of them actually kept their natural heritage, but you had some of them that deviated, and they started to call themselves after the nationality of the land. Same thing now, we call ourselves Americans. Really, when you call yourself American, you're calling yourself after a so-called white man. Do our people come out of the line of Amerigo Vespucci? No. So why are you calling yourself an American like you do? Because you were taught that.
So that's how our people were Gentiles back then. Just like back then, they called themselves Romans. That's why you have a book to the Romans, not natural Romans, but Israelites that lived in Rome. Tells you that in Romans 1:6. Same thing with Corinth, Greece, Grecians, Cappadocians, Thessalonians, so to speak. You know, so on and so forth.
I don't mean to ask too many questions. I'm just trying to know.
Okay.
He mentioned Deuteronomy 23. The next verse, it says, "Thou shalt not whore Edomite." Now I know I've heard brothers saying that Edomite means Assyrian, but when I looked the word up in the Blue Letter, it said Edomite.
Well, when you gotta look up, you gotta know the Hebrew. Because it says Edomite, but when you go into the Hebrew, it doesn't say Adonam, which is the Hebrew word for Edom. It says Aram. And when you go into Aram, going into Genesis, the 10th chapter, Aram was one of the sons of, if I'm not mistaken, get that Genesis 10 real fast with Aram.
Aram was one of the sons of Shem.
Yeah, Aram was one of the sons of Shem.
Which is why even that Exodus, that Deuteronomy 23, because Laban.
Yeah, Genesis 10.
Laban was a Syrian, which Leah and Rachel were Syrian, because basically when you look at the family chart, Rum was one of the matter of fact, we just get it.
I got it.
You got it there. This is one of the sons of go ahead, you got it.
Genesis 10:21. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hol, and Gether, and Mash. So that's really the main point. But see, we came out of the line of Arphaxad.
And out of Arphaxad, that's where you had, later on different generations that proceeded through the loins, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Eber, Peleg. That's how our line started. But you had the close into Arphaxad, actually Arphaxad's brother, which was Aram. And that's where you get the Syrian, and even when you look at the Syrian language, it's very relative to Hebrew. That's where you get the Aramaic. Aramaic is very, very similar to Hebrew, but we have certain little points that show it's not the same thing. Because they were brothers, and they basically both had the language of old, but it was certain differences in the dialect.
Twins, like he might speak English with you from London.
Same thing with Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, so to speak.
They speak Spanish, but it's different.
A little different type of Spanish, so to speak. But brother got something?
Yeah, I got something real quick. Another point with the strangers. This is Exodus 12 and 43. And it reads, and the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. But then when you read the account of the Passover, it tells you that if a stranger live amongst you, that he has to what? I keep reading. Yeah. Verse 44. And it says, but every manservant that is bought for money, which thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof.
A foreigner, meaning that person of another nation, is not supposed to eat on the Passover because one, they're not circumcised, but they're foreigners. Okay, you have to be a part of that, a part of Israel.
Part of that commonwealth.
And if the law was, hypothetically speaking, if the law truly did say that, Deuteronomy 28, first of all, there's a lot of, when you learn the Hebrew, there's a lot of words within the Hebrew that the scholars get tripped up on.
Yeah.
Because they're very close in manner. Like Adam.
Yeah, you can mix that with
Adam. They mix it up, those little small little points with how the Hebrew go. It creates a whole other word.
Right, because like when the scholars, like most of the translations that they do, especially today, most of the translations, they do it through the Masoretic text. And when you look at the Ra and the Da in the Masoretic text, what we call the modern Assyrian Hebrew, it looks similar. That's why when the scholars find ancient artifacts like the so-called Dead Sea Scrolls and certain artifacts, and you see the Paleo-Hebrew, they can get a more accurate understanding of what it's actually saying. Because the characters are totally different. They're a lot different. We don't have too many similar characters in the Paleo-Hebrew as opposed to the Masoretic text. So even sometimes, even when you do translations and you go into the matter of the text, like the two-letter Bible, for example, you know, yeah, you mess it up. But when you look on the Paleo Hebrew side, with there's websites for that, you're going to see, oh, that's not Edom. That's a whole other word. You know?
Like let's say Adam is man. That's what they say. The blue letter, they'll say that means man, but actually, man in Hebrew was Ayash.
Yeah, they have also Shoeg the Edomite. But when you go into that, he wasn't an Edomite. He was a Syrian too. That's those little small intricacies that certain, like you said, certain scholars, they'll actually mix up and things of that nature. But that's why we have to be scholars. As a matter of fact, let me get the
You got to be deeper than them.
Yeah, let me get this real fast though. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. A workman, and if any brother want to, chime in.
Nah, go ahead. Yeah.
Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Rightly.
Yeah.
And the Spirit led you. That's why we boldly say the Spirit, we have 100% the truth. Right? Because even when the scholars go off, we pick up on it, like the blue letter. The blue letter does go off. If you want to go into the blue letter, you would think that the word where it speaks about King David being ruddy, you would think he's Edomite, he's red. But that's a different word. I think that word for ruddy, Adam, and blood, those three words are a lot alike. Like blood, I think blood is dumb in the Hebrew. Yeah. And then where you got Adawam, that dumb, those little things throw words. That da.
That da character is similar to the ra character. So what you see, because Aram in the Hebrew, in the Masoretic text, was the same exact thing as Adam. But character, it just, you got the, and that's why if you go back to the old world, it was something that today they don't put an emphasis on. It was called calligraphy. A lot of high-level aristocratic families, they would teach their children calligraphy in Asia, in Europe, right? Because it was certain strokes. It was a certain way. Even so-called Jewish scholars, they have to learn how to write the Hebrew in a certain way. Right. That was a very lucrative profession. When you go like friends with the Merovingian family, they were rich. They would hire a lot of these painters and certain philosophers to train their children up from 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. That's why you get something called prodigies, because they would train them up. They'll see a certain gift, and they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna hire you a tutor." That's in the scriptures about before you become an heir, you get a tutor. But that was something like in the old world, so to speak, in the ancient world, or times prior. That was a very heavy teaching.
They see it on this side. When you have a child, the doctors, your child, he could play the piano. Look at his fingers. Right. They can tell straight from the womb. We did the 300 show you that. They look at the baby. This baby defect. Let's just kill him right now, instead of letting him grow up. So, like you said, it's the same spirit.
I got a precept too out there. All right, come. It's the prologue of Sirach. It reads for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. That's basically it. Going into the Hebrew words, like you gotta discern like which words match up with the scriptures.
That family, I met the Medici family. They were like a real rich family. I said Medici family. Yeah. I mean, that was real though. It really was real though. I met the Medici family. This is dope for me. Give you something to look on for the future. Because when you do a lot of research on these people in the dark ages in the past, you'll see how they lived, the manner of, especially Jake the Moors, that was higher up. You'll see in certain customs things that they did back then that we don't do today, especially here in the family. Closest thing we got to learning how to write and understand letters, cursive writing in elementary school. right? You know, so it's very important to understand writing, like the brother read in the Apocrypha about understanding Hebrew as a force and how it's spoken and even how it's written.
And then let's not ignore the fact that Deuteronomy 23, that number one, Esau when he was dealing with these planters, why wouldn't he throw that little twang in there to throw you off?
Right.
Whore not me. You know, forgive me, have mercy on me. But then everything else in the scriptures cut that.
Right.
You know, everything cuts this whole idea of squeezing any nation. All right, because Esau, like we just read, when the brother went into Genesis the 10th chapter, that he did with the table of nations, a lot of nations came out of that line. You know that, what is it, 7 Hebrew families?
Yep.
Five Hebrew families?
Ammon, Moab, Ishmael, Israel, and Edom.
Yeah. So why not them? Just because Esau came out of the womb of Hebrew. He's a Hebrew, they all Hebrews. Why not save all the others? Why not save the Hebrew Elamites too? Or the Hebrew Ammonites and the Hebrew Moabites? Because the Most High is not dealing with like how you opened up. The Most High had it set up where we was over the other nations. Above them.
Yeah, I got it.
Second Ezra 6 and 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And just like the brother said, it's not because we all are Hebrews or we have certain things in common. Everybody came out of before the Hebrews was really the land of Adam, so to speak. You know, before Shem, so to speak. It was all they were all Adamites, but it all distinguished to what? The sons of God, the sons of man, and the sons of the wicked. The Most High, he always dealt with a direct line, direct descendant, so to speak. Going back to Genesis, what's that, 2? Where they were made in the likeness and the image. All people wasn't made in the likeness and the image. All men came out of the earth, but everybody didn't come in the likeness and the image of the Most High. And what's the likeness and the image of the Lord? The law, statutes, and commandments, the spirit. That was something that was distinguished from all the nations that was given to a specific people, making them Yasha Allah, the princes of the power, gods amongst regular men.
So continuing on, it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, the Moabites, which is the 18 nations, you know, besides Israel, you have 17 other nations which represent the other people, including Esau.
Yep.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
That came after Deuteronomy 23.
Yeah. The smart words.
Hey, like we just read what you First Samuel the 5th chapter. With the Ark of the Covenant. If the Lord was about the other nations getting this thing, why was he so pressed? Why did he do all that to those Philistines when the Ark of the Covenant when they landed?
Yep.
Why did they all get hemorrhoids? Why did he bring a great slaughter through the land? If it was all about all of us coming together, because that's not the spirit of the Lord, man.
The Lord could have told us to go in and negotiate for the land of Canaan, and we would have got a piece of the land. We would have got half of Jericho, half of Bethlehem, and all these different lands of Judah. But the Lord told us what? Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, to kill all the nations, destroy them, the women and the children, you know. And that was the problem with Saul. Saul was being too goddamn nice, man. You know, the Lord commanded Saul specifically to kill off what's this individual's name?
King Agag.
Agag the Amalekite, but he actually spared him, and Samuel cussed him the hell out, man.
He was being vain too.
Yeah, he was being vain.
He was being vain, you know, because basically he wanted, he basically wanted to do his will.
And he had to come up.
Yeah, he had to come up like,
Capture the king.
I got Agag.
You got the riches.
Yeah, the riches. You know, I think some of his men got some spoils.
Yeah, they split the spoils up.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Everybody had to come up.
Yeah, if I may say, because we read the Deuteronomy, when it says, "Abhor not an Edomite." Well, now when you go to Samuel, why is the Lord telling Samuel to tell
Saul to go kill off all the Edomites and kill Agag and take no spoil. That's not,
That would be against the law.
That's against the law.
That's against the law.
But the Most High is not a man that he should lie. So it's like, that's how you know that scripture is speaking about Syria.
Hey, well, like Apostle Paul said, he said when you're dealing with the law, you gotta check your emotions. You know, when Jake out here, especially these other camps, they get their feelings when it comes to the law and the people. They haven't come to the, see, they love the whole yelling around and screaming Kwam Yasha'Allah, and we Israel. But when it comes with what comes with that, these other nations ain't shit compared to us. They're worthless. We're above them. We want to own them. We want them to be a possession to us. Matter of fact, can somebody get the Psalms, the 2nd chapter? Psalms 2 and 7. Matter of fact, have me that. They got some more umbrellas down there?
I'm gonna ask.
Psalm
I got one of my
2 and verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, there are my son, this day have I begotten thee. Verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Yeah, heathens. You got it, brother.
God, I'll reread it. Start from the top. Verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Like the brother was saying, hey, we go into that, man. We want, to take these other nations as a possession and have them underneath us, okay, and rule over them, okay? Because that's what we need, man. Because as long as Esau is ruling over people, it's going to be mourning on the earth, man. When we come back into power and be set, in our righteous place, man, the people will rejoice, as it say in Proverbs 29 and 2.
That's right.
All right? Go ahead.
John, I'm going to continue. It says, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Yeah, as a possession, man. A possession means it belongs to you, man. To possess something. Ownership. Yeah, ownership. All right? So why would you possess something that's relatively equal to you, man? To possess something, it has to be less than you. All right?
That's why it's going to be known as the kingdom of heaven. The Lord could have used another word for equivalent of democracy. Democracy of heaven,
The unity,
yeah, the unity,
of the nations.
The unity of the nations. It could have been all these things. Hey, the Lord hated the New World. The Lord hated all nations to come together. You read that in Genesis 11.
Fact, let me get that. If Deuteronomy 23, if it says abhor not an Edomite, then the book of Genesis, the first Genesis split 1 through not 1, Genesis 2 through maybe 10 is a waste. Because it goes through, it literally creates a bloodline. Most High plucked Adam. He brought Adam out of the dust. And from what Adam had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. So then the Lord brought Seth. Seth meaning recompense, because they lost a son. And then you get the whole bloodline from Seth all the way down to Noah. Like if this is for everybody, all that's involved, that's all the waste. The Most High is telling you, I created a line. I created a line from the first creation of man to Adam, then from Adam all the way down to Noah, then from then from Noah down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It literally gives you such and such begat all the way down to Shem, Japheth, and Ham.
I mean, why call them the sons of God in the first place? Just call everybody the sons of God.
Just call us people.
Humans.
Adamites. The Lord didn't even want us all to be called Adamites. He said he divided the nations.
So who are Adamites, but who are all sons of God?
Yeah, but it's bigger than the Adamites.
Yeah, right.
We could have stayed at Adam, we would have just been all human beings, so to speak. But the Lord is bigger than that. He wants his servants to rule and dominate. The word dominate goes into domina, which means Lord. Have lordship over the other nations. I got this in Genesis 11. It says, and the whole earth was of one language. It says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly,
And they had brick for stone, and slime they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded.
So it was the children of men that came together collectively. And this is really pre New World Order, so to speak. This is the first New World Order that was actually trying to be established, so to speak.
Yep.
And that's why it was what? The Babylon, Tower of Babel. Because you had Neo-Babylon, which was all about the New World Order. You had all these different nations, and the virgin daughter of Babylon, that was about the New World Order. And the New World Order is all nations coming together, which you have in Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones.
Yep.
Speaks about all one language.
That's why it's all in different languages.
Yep, that's why it's all in different languages, but they come together and amalgamate together.
Same spirits.
Same spirit, that's right.
So it says, And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one.
Right.
Shouldn't that be a good thing?
Right.
Unity. My people come together. He wasn't feeling that. He said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do.
Hey, wouldn't it be easier? We all just had one language.
All
no
one
matter,
color.
so no matter where you went in the world, you could communicate with people.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be so much easier? Obviously, the Lord didn't want that.
Hey, you hear that Michael Jackson song that he had back in the 80s? We Are the World.
We all the
You hear that?
children.
We Are the Children. You hear that playing? Because that's the same spirit.
Holding hands and rocking and shit.
Holding hands. And, got a big bonfire in the middle. Everybody holding candles.
Doing the parachute shit, throwing the feet up in the air.
That's not how the Lord wanted, man. He divided the nations up because Yahweh Shai, he deals in order. That's where you get in Greek. That's where you get the word cosmos. He was dealing with a particular order, a particular arrangement of people. You know? Yahweh Shai, he created the worlds. You got the Elamite world. Who knows what's going on over there in India and Pakistan right now? All right, who knows what's going on in the Ishmaelite world right now? We know what's going on in the Israelite world because this is the order that the Lord is dealing with. You know.
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
He saw Slick with his Google ears. He put the shit in your ear and you can translate.
Yeah,
It's the same spirit.
What's it called? Babel or something like that?
Babel,
Yeah, Babel. It's called
Put it
Babel.
in your ear, and no matter where you at, you can hear what they saying in their language and translate it for you. Same spirit.
All right. Verse 7. Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
So, but you in the spirit, the Most High gonna do the reverse. He gonna reverse that this go around, because the Most High gonna come down through His Son and the angels and the elect, and gonna confound all these languages and bring it back to one.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, see, we get that in that Zephaniah,
Yep.
that pure language. So, because it ain't gonna, even in the kingdom of heaven, it ain't gonna be no more Mandarin
Right, Mandarin.
and Greek and Russian and Latin
Right.
and Spanish, English,
Thank God.
patois, Latin. It ain't gonna be none of that shit. Everybody gonna speak Hebrew. Everybody argue with the Paleo Hebrew right now.
Right.
Everybody gonna speak it, man.
The last one could die.
The lost your one would die. That's the only language.
That's it.
You got that?
This is Zephaniah 3 and verse 9. But then will I turn to the people a pure language.
And it starts with us. Because the loser always speaks the winning nation's language, man.
That's true.
That's why we speak it. Matter of fact, we get that in the law. We get that in Deuteronomy 28. Fierce with that Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
I'm right here. I got it.
You got it. He got it.
This is
That's fierce. That's fierce nation.
Swift as
40 something.
I think it's 48.
Yeah, I got it. This Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And that's speaking about the Romans invading us. Because the Roman language of old was Latin. We a Hebrew speaking nation. All right? But the funny thing about it is that these curses is falling upon all of our enemies according to Deuteronomy 30. So what happens? When we conquer their ass, go back to that, we can read that. Go ahead.
Zephaniah 3 and verse 9. But then will I turn to the people a pure language.
Yeah, and Israelites, the pure language is the Hebrew. That's the language.
Yeah, the word pure in the Hebrew is
Tahar.
Yeah, tahar or holy or pure is what's that? Kodash. And tongue is the Lashawan. So the pure language is the Lashawan Kodash, which is the language of Canaan.
That I barred.
Oh,
Keep going.
That they may be all called upon the name of the Lord who serve him with one consent.
That's right. Now, when you go from there to, if you don't mind, Isaiah, the second chapter, Isaiah 2 and 1. We decided to top there.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
You have the Israelites coming together. This is a prophetic thing. As it said, what did it say? Israel and Judah. All right, speaking on Ezekiel the 37th chapter, two sticks becoming one. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established.
The Israelite house, the house of David. Go ahead.
Shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations
that
shall
means
go unto it.
we the king of the hill. King of the hill, we the winner. So we're gonna exert our spirit on this place in you people. You're gonna eat what we eat. You're gonna wear what y'all talk shit about the way we dress, but all you nations gonna dress like this. You're gonna wear the fringes with the border of blue. You're not gonna. It ain't gonna be no goddamn Edomites in the kingdom of heaven wearing some Dockers and a button and a fucking button-up shirt and a tie.
Some slippers. That's what they call sovereignty.
That's sovereignty. That's it.
Sovereignty means absolute power.
See, we gonna rule you people, and you're gonna accept our ways.
And that's what happened after that account. The first World War, New World Order.
Yep.
Like you were mentioning in Genesis chapter 11, you had the prophet Noah right after prophesying the downfall, which is going to come by the flood.
That's right.
So we're doing it in these times.
Doing it in these times.
Yeah. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9.
Hold on. What did that say?
Come on, man. Come on.
What is Peter?
Serve him with one consent.
And serve him in one consent. Now, let's go back to Isaiah 2. We're gonna read on down.
Isaiah 2. I'll begin back in verse 2.
Yep.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains,
Yep, go ahead.
and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it.
That city on a hill in Matthew the 5th chapter. Keep going.
Verse 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High, the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways.
His ways. What are we gonna teach them? We're not gonna teach these other nations how to speak fucking Spanish. And what are we gonna teach them? We're gonna teach them our ways. Like you gotta think, when people come to us for advice now in counsel, I can only counsel you according to the scriptures and my knowledge. Yeah? So when these other nations flow onto us, they're gonna learn our ways. Yeah? All of these nations, they're gonna be mini Israelites without the purpose of being an Israelite. But that's the spirit. These other nations, you're gonna have these Hamites. They're gonna have full beards on their head, hair on their head.
Yeah. They women gonna have their heads wrapped.
They gonna have that tater wrap too.
They got that tater wrap.
Yeah. Because It ain't gonna be none of this. Everybody doing whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, they women ain't gonna be out roaming around.
Right.
Hey, like America. America goes in and pushes democracy on all these lands because it started and established itself off of that same guideline principle. You know, so they go to the other lands and they push their ideology. It speaks about the wine and how the tongue goes forth to all the lands. And it's the same thing. We have a particular wine. You know, the scriptures is known as a wine. So we're gonna feed all these different, spice wine. We're gonna feed all these different nations the wine of Israel, which is the best wine you can drink.
That's it. And they gonna want, but it's telling us in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, let us go.
Yeah, let us go.
Let us go and learn your ways.
They go back to go is the Hebrew word for yalak, which means walk. So they're gonna go out their way, they're gonna travel. And it said in Genesis the 49th chapter, how they gonna really pay. They're gonna be like, they're gonna get and it's just for free. Now I said we're gonna suck the breast of the Gentiles.
Go to Isaiah 60.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
This is now all of that's starting now.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's starting right now because we're getting our heritage back. We're getting our language. You know, we're getting our history. We're getting our understanding back. That's why we speak the it says actually for the old past. So we go into the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Okay, we speak the Lashon Kodash. All right, the holy tongue. We break down the name of the Lord in the Hebrew and tell you that's the name you're supposed to be speaking. Okay, and calling upon, praying to Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. Okay, so this is Isaiah 19 and 18. It says, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt
That's right.
speak the language of Canaan.
What is that? Hebrew.
Yep. Now, when you Google ancient Hebrew, another word you can Google, you got something called the Proto-Canaanite languages. That's the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo-Hebrew. Okay? It's another word for that. Proto-Canaanite languages, or the Paleo-Hebrew is all the same language. It's all the same thing.
Yep.
So,
Phoenician, you said?
yeah, right. The Phoenician, okay? It's all the same language, man. You know, the Proto-Canaanite, the Paleo-Hebrew, the Phoenician, okay? It's all ancient Hebrew.
That's right.
Okay? So it's prophesied that we were going to speak that language. Why? Because there's going to be a time when this understanding is going to be sought for and pushed out there to the world because we're going to be back on top in our rightful place.
That's right, Doc.
You know?
That's right.
I'll finish it out. Isaiah 19 and 18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt, meaning America, speak the language of Canaan and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. Okay? So we're speaking that language now. Okay? Which is the Hebrew.
That's it. Like I said, we're going to teach. All these other nations, they're going to cleave onto our ways, man.
Right.
And that's the spirit that Israelite, that's a ruling class mentality. That's not, a ruling class mentality is not, well, we going to do our thing over here, and y'all going to do your thing over there. No, fuck that. You're going to do what the hell we doing all the way over there.
Yeah.
Even if we not over there, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because we want control. Like how you said, sovereign. Total dominance, man. Total control. That's what we're seeking after. That's what we're patiently waiting for. We're not patiently waiting to have a percentage of the kingdom. Matter of fact, somebody want to get that at Daniel 7 and 7:18. Yeah, I still on Isaiah 62. Go back to I don't know if brother go back to Isaiah 2. 7 and 18. Yeah.
All right, now this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Yeah, we're not going to lease it or buy it off of them, you know, or politely march for it. You know, we're not going to get 800 men and march for our fucking rights, man. All right? It ain't going down like that. All right, we're lions, man. Matter of fact, and you know what lions is not even about, hey, you know what lions is not even about to kill, it's to hunt. Yeah. It's not even about to kill. Because if you watch lions, there's this street video with a lion. I don't know if you've probably seen it. Where like the lioness had like a little a gazelle, and it was a baby gazelle, and she wouldn't kill it.
Yeah, since you were playing with it.
And she kept playing with it, she wouldn't kill it. Because in lions, there's something that kicks in with them that makes them hunt. You never see a lion eat something dead dead. It's something that when they see it, like, oh shit, something moving, that's food, let me go get it. That's the spirit that the Lord is putting on us. It's not even about the kill, it's the hunt. Jeremiah 16, we can get that. It's about the hunt. We want the hunt, man. This whole thing is a hunt. We're hunting Esau. That's why Esau's gonna have to come down on us. We hunting his ass. What we're doing is spiritually. See, we're not out here buying rifles and camouflage and all that shit. But we're doing it spiritually. Okay, we're spiritual cunning hunters. And Esau hates that shit, man. Use me to Daniel 7 and 18 again.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and even forever and ever.
So we're going to possess the kingdom and everything that's within it. Esau, Elam, Moab, Ammon, Ham, Japheth. You got to throw Japheth in there. There's always some simple nigga that's trying to squeeze Japheth. Japheth's Esau. Or one camp, Japheth's Esau. Then the other camp, so-called Polynesian people, they Naphtali. You just confounded by a tribe that don't even matter right now. All this energy going into Japheth, he don't even fucking matter right now.
We just read that Daniel 7 and 18, and it says the saints. Okay, the saints are when you go into that word saint, it's Kodash.
It's Kodash.
Which means separate, holy. We went into last night, consecrated. Okay, so if we're separate anyway, we want everything to ourselves and not y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't want a piece of the pie, we want the whole pie, man. That's right. They're all or nothing. That's how it's going. All that communion and shit. Man. Fuck these other nations, man. Right? And now there's Israelites scattered. Of course, we already established that amongst the other nations. But as far as the natural nations, man, to hell with them niggas, man. To hell with them booty scratching Africans, man.
That's right.
Man,
fuck them. To hell with them boots, man.
Oh hell.
Right? It tells us in Psalms 83. Hey, if we're not supposed to abhor Edomite, why is all these scriptures like Psalms 83 in there? Psalms 137, or Psalms 139. All these other chapters that go into the fact of these Edomites raising up against us. So we supposed to just take an ass whooping for Esau.
Right.
But Esau, that's some bullshit.
Well, it say we're not to abhor Edomite. Esau sure abhors us.
Yeah.
Esau will abhor niggas so much he'll goddamn shoot his ass in the middle of goddamn 5 o'clock traffic.
To blame it on your ass.
And then say, I didn't do it. I'm not guilty. You know?
So, if I may say, why do scriptures in Hebrew 12 say that Esau's profane? Going to the word profane means outside the temple. Right. Okay, so why would the scripture say that and then say abhor Edomite?
Well, why would the Lord?
It's a serious.
So it's something also in the scripture when you abhor your woman, meaning you kind of keep her away from you. Because what, like you said, she's outside of the temple because she's unclean. So it's the same thing with Esau. Esau is profane because he has no part in this temple. And even other nations, when they try to divide with us, what we said, that you ain't got no part of this, man.
Yep.
So the kingdom of heaven is not going to be a joint rulership. It's going to be us, and it's going to be a few good Edomites that's going to make it. Nah, it don't work like that.
Matter of fact, what did you said that was Hebrews?
I think it's like Hebrew 12.
Will you get that?
16.
Will you get that?
Hebrew 12 is 16.
And what do you hold?
16 and 16.
Yeah, bring that out real quick.
This is Hebrews chapter 12.
Now let him bring that out. We're going to change it up.
This is Jeremiah 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
It's to hunt. Like we saying like with a lion, it's not about to kill, it's to hunt, man. That's why Esau goes on these excursions to hunt, man. It's the height that goes into it, man. That's why you gotta be on fire to push this word, because we hunting. Now I mean we're fishing, of course, but it's all a prelude to the hunting.
Well, fishing is like
fishing is a lighter form of hunt. That's all it is. You still gotta go in with a mind frame and so on and so forth. Okay. Now read that in Hebrews. And then go to Deuteronomy. So we spoke of Deuteronomy 23. Go to Deuteronomy 23 and you start at its first verse. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 12 and 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
Kind of like that. Hold on real quick. Amos, first chapter. Bastard and Ashdod.
Oh, yeah.
You get that. Go ahead. You get that too.
This is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Yeah, it was meat. Got niggas out here fucking beans, man. It was meat. It said meat. It was meat, nigga.
Hey, trust me, it was meat, man.
All right, it was meat, man.
It was meat.
Damn.
All right, Esau ain't sell his birthrights for 16 bean stew, man. Dumb niggas. I just had to throw that out there, man. But
No, you good.
we just read that about Esau. Esau's outside of the temple. Okay, he's inferior. Now read that in Amos. You still looking for it? In fact, what is that? You know what that is? I think that
Is it what?
is it Zechariah? Never seen it. Come on, the scripture.
You do have unknown.
All right, look it up real quick. Yes, look, Zechariah 9 and 6. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Zechariah chapter 9 and 6. It says, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Ashdod is a city in the land of Israel, amongst the coast. Who's living in the land of Israel right now? Us in that area. Esau. And it says what? He's a bastard, right? All right. Now go from there to Deuteronomy 23 and 1. And we're gonna read down.
This is Deuteronomy 23 and 1. He that is wounded in the stones or had his private member cut off shall not enter the congregation of the Lord Yahweh.
Yep, keep going.
A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh.
What?
A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
So the scriptures is telling us that Esau is a bastard. That's right. Somebody want to look that word up? What in the Hebrew? What the word bastard is there?
I know it means illegitimate child. But I'll look it up real quick.
But you just read. Doesn't it say in Hebrews that he was Esau's a bastard?
He don't have no father.
He doesn't have a father. Because when you read about Esau, when Jacob, not Jacob, excuse me, Isaac. After Isaac gave the blessings out, matter of fact, we can get that too. In the book of Genesis. I think that's Genesis, where's that at? Genesis 9. What you got? Yeah, bring that out. I want to get that account where after the blessing of Jacob and Esau.
Yeah, this is Mama Zar. Bastard is Mama Zar in the Hebrew, which means bastard, illegitimate child, to alienate a mongrel, right? Alienated, meaning he's not a part of the family no more.
He's profane to the
he's
temple.
Profane, he's pushed away. He's not a part of the circle. Okay?
You see, I'm looking up on etymology real quick. See, there's some more meat to that.
But it says here, born of a Jewish father, and his mother, that's Esau, being the devil.
That's it. Reaching. All right, so I got something. This is online etymology of the word bastard, and it reads illegitimate child, probably a pansackled son, meaning a child conceived on an impoverished bed. Word born, equally suggestive of a low origins. So hey, low origins. Somebody get Job 30 and 1.
Yep.
Because Esau is that bastard. All right. Still hold Deuteronomy 23.
This is Job chapter 30 and 1. It says, but now they that are younger than I.
Insignificant, low. This is talking about Esau.
It's low origins.
Low origins. He's a bastard. Keep going.
I have meat, Salat. Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
I see. Listen to this part of the definition. Used as a generic vulgar term of abuse for a man is attested. He's attestable. He's profane. He's the wicked. He's the evil one. You got something you got to say? Go ahead, say it.
An Omen, or Omen Norman, is
Yep.
how you say it. But that's his name because when he came out, they were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? If he didn't really saw it. Because when everybody else came out, they came out the same tone, looking the same. And then this guy is different. Automatically made him profane right then and there. That's why they named him that.
Listen to this. Now, this is the second definition of bastard on dictionary.com. And it says an informal and an unpleasant or despicable person.
That's Esau.
Who's more despicable than a especially right now, than you gotta use that word, self-proclaimed white man. I got that from the Dallas Bucks last night. The self-proclaimed white man, because he ain't white, he's red. But who's more despicable than him? You know? He doesn't produce anything of value or gain or profit. You know?
Listen to the synonyms of this bastard. A scoundrel, villain, rogue. Somebody go to Deuteronomy. What is that? Deuteronomy Cain. I'm sorry, I said Deuteronomy. Genesis, what's that, 4th chapter? Let's get that real quick.
I have a quick precept.
Bring it up.
This is
we exposing this bastard today.
This is because Moses said the standing. Like, I can't stand something. So this is Genesis chapter 26. I'm gonna get to the point, verse 35. It says, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah. Now that's speaking about Esau because he went and married these two different women, and then it was grief of mine to his parents. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And they told him he did exactly what he told him not to do. That bastard. Now listen to this. Matter of fact, bring that out in Genesis first.
This Genesis 4:11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth, meaning he got his pigment taken away, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. That's why the so-called white men today, they got to use Monsanto and push all these chemical stuff in the air, into the earth, to get some kind of, production from it, because they're not using the earth right. You know what I'm saying? And they're cursed from it. It says, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Now think about a fugitive. Now when you say that person went rogue, he's off the map.
Yep.
When somebody, he's on a like Mission Impossible. What's the guy? I forget his name, but he's always known for going rogue. I think one of them was the Rogue. I think one of the Mission Impossible movies. You know, it's like 6 of them.
You got Rogue from X-Men.
She was always on the go.
Yeah, Star Wars, Rogue One. She was a rogue.
See, so that's Esau. Esau is always going rogue, and that's when he started going rogue there as Cain.
Yep.
Keep going.
It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid.
Yep.
And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
That's it.
That's getting ready to happen.
That's coming. It had to come to pass.
Yep.
All right, now going back to some more of these synonyms of bastard, right?
Hey, Cain was a prophet.
Scoundrel, villain. Hey, that's the beginning of the villainization of Esau.
Yep. Villainization. Man, he's a super villain.
He's a super villain. All right, he's rogue. He's an evil twin.
Evil twin.
Rascal, a weasel. Listen to this. A snake.
Oh, it's a serpent.
A serpent.
It's a serpent.
The serpent in the garden. Was that Psalms 50? Was that Psalms? Was that is it Death Adder?
Yeah, Psalm 58.
Psalms 58. Snake in the grass.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Psalm 78, what did I say?
Psalm 78.
78.
I don't know, somebody want to get it?
Hey, and 82.
Somebody want to get one.
Let's deal with the first one.
I want to do one.
Matter of fact, someone get 82 since he said 82. I like 82.
I like 82.
All right, let's see what he says. The spirit might be talking to
Hey, hold on 1 minute. Hey, that's my brother right there.
Okay. Right, let's read it. We had a request from the people, so you know.
I'm going to
Go ahead. Let's hear it out. We're gonna read it. You can start at the top.
All right, cuz. This is Psalms 82:1. The Most High standeth in the congregation
the Most High, the who?
of the mighty.
The who? The Most High?
He judgeth among the gods.
What did he do?
He judgeth among the gods.
Now
the gods tell us in the scriptures.
I want you to listen to what every word what he say. The Most High. Bam. Stop.
Okay.
And he judges. Stop.
Yeah. You right, your point.
Hey, but he first of all, he's the Most High. And then he judges. And then what he do?
Go ahead.
All right. How long will ye judge unjustly?
And that's what we're pleading up. Because wicked judgment proceeded.
But you know what he doing? You know what he doing? You ain't judging. I want you to
No, but in the book of Nehemiah, it tells you.
Oh, yeah, you better stop. You better stop.
You're trying to get healed.
I know. No, I'm trying to choke him out for calling it off, cause you know. Hey, boy, you know. Hey, check it out. He know the book of Nehemiah. Oh! You going to hell.
Oh, man, I'm already in hell.
I'm
already in hell.
Hey,
you're trying to get to heaven.
Hey. Can I say one thing?
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, God wants you. God wants you. Hey. Give my back. God wants you.
Ain't nobody at the house. Oh, no, I want God. That's why I'm out here. I represent God. That's why we got the Bible. Yeah, to tell our people. Matter of fact, somebody go to Matthew 10. Go to Matthew 10.
Oh, no, don't do that.
We're going to read the Bible out.
Go
to Matthew 10 and 1. We're going to read that. We're going to read into that.
Hey, this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 1.
Like there was the spirits.
It said, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against the unclean spirits.
That's right.
Hold on.
Let him finish.
To cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
That's right.
Says verse.
Keep going.
No.
Now let the word of God speak.
Now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother. Verse 3, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Labius, whose surname is Thaddeus.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 4, Simon the Canaanite and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth, they commanded them, saying, go not in the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not.
So Yahushua commanded the 12 to go out and teach the Israelites.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's what we did. We came out here to teach our people.
But you ain't going nowhere.
And we don't live. I don't live out here. What are you talking about? I had to come out here. I had to travel. And we had to travel through the rain. We had almost got shipwrecked, you know?
Hey, verse 7.
That's the word of God.
And as ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
It's right here.
We in hell. He said we already in hell. Keep going.
Verse 8. Heal the sick.
Heal the sick, because our people are sick, man. You know, our people are sick, and the Lord is going to heal our people. It tells you in yeah, read it again.
God. Matthew chapter 10, verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received.
Because that's what Yahushua was doing when he was on the scene. He was casting out demons, man. Devils.
The Bible says in Hebrew, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. the Son of God. They say Jesus Christ, the Son of God is saying in both people, everyone. Say that's the same. Yes, it is.
Hey, well, the Son of God is coming back in his anger. I keep going in
Hey, but hold on. You ain't listening to what I said. I said, and when I read that word, the Bible says in Hebrew, the book of Hebrews says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday.
And he loves Israel. He loves Israel. Matter of fact, go to Hebrews 8 and 6.
No. If you want to talk about Israel, you go to the book. And
You an Israelite. Hey, y'all like being called an Israelite? That means Prince of the Power, man. Salvation is for you. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
But see, you ain't telling people what Jesus said.
I did. I just read Matthew 10.
Matthew 4:17.
You had a question? You had a question?
Matthew 4:17.
I'm going up the hill.
All right, well, we out here on Saturdays.
Going up the hill.
Have a good one.
All right, you have a good one. Yes.
Have a good one.
Hey.
Let's get into scripture dealing with the healing.
Hey, say this out.
I like what y'all doing, man.
All right, peace.
Hey,
I like what y'all doing. This is a good example to show people what our generation is all about. It ain't all about being badass and doing this and doing that.
Right.
It's about proving people who we are.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Let's go.
Hey, but see.
Hey, this is the favor we doing for you.
But this is
Hey, have a good one, man. Hey, you gotta be able to deal with spirits, man.
You want me to restart that?
Yeah, we go from there. Okay, if you go to what is that? Micah. Go ahead.
Matthew 10 and 8. Heal the sick.
Satan didn't want us to see how Satan did. Satan didn't want us to deal with that bastard.
This is
Go to Malachi 14. Yep. Hey, that's your brother. Your brother going up the street. Go catch him. You don't want to, because we don't want to be stuck down. We'll be out here next week. Yeah, we'll be out here on Saturday.
This is
all right, have a good day. All right.
This is Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi. What is it? 4 and 2.
This is Malachi chapter 4 verse 2. It says,
matter of fact, start at the top. 4 and 1.
This is Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubborn.
You walk him up the street. Y'all two brothers walk him up the street.
It says, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave neither, it shall leave them.
Are you good? Have a good one. We just want to make sure you're safe.
I'll tell you this here.
What you want me to do?
Hold on.
It's okay, so get back down. Don't convert, don't provoke.
Hey, do this here.
What you need me?
Matthew 4:14.
That's 144.
Yeah, Matthew 4:14.
4:17.
Now we're going to start at 14.
We'll start at 14.
I said 4:17.
We're going to read it 17.
No.
What's it say?
This is Matthew chapter 4, verse 14.
I don't want to listen to what God said.
That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah, the prophet, saying, verse 15, the land of Zebulun, the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, verse 16. Verse 16. The people who sat in darkness saw great light, and to them,
it's us. Go to Isaiah 60 and 1. Yeah, go to 17. Yeah.
It says, and to them that sat in the region and shadow of death, light it sprung up.
Yeah, we the light shining in the shadow of death.
It says verse 17. From that time Yahushua began
to preach.
At that time Yahushua began to preach and say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
The first way he
Hey,
said,
beautiful scripture.
No, hold on. Why you I said read.
Yeah, read Isaiah 60. We got to keep going. We're teaching the people.
Hey, God said, patient.
This is Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise, shine.
Hold on. Yeah, you got to slow it down a little bit. Y'all walk around.
This is Isaiah 61. Arise, shine, for thy light is come.
You gotta come on.
And the glory of the Lord Yahweh is rising upon thee.
Hey, can't about to get real, man. This ain't everybody act like, you know, it can't be about having, you know, it's real, man. We don't know what we're gonna deal when we come out here, you know. But you gotta be in the spirit to deal with it.
For behold, the darkness.
From again?
I
Actually, start at the top. I'm selecting.
This is Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is rising upon thee.
That's it. It's like when you shine a light in the middle of a dark field, it's gonna attract all manners of people. You know, all manners of spirits and evilness. You know, some might be clean, some might be unclean. But that's not for us to decide.
That's our job.
We just a light representatives of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua.
That's right.
Keep going. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
And that's all that's out here, gross darkness. That was an example of gross darkness in itself. You know, but we dealt with that according to we dealt with it with patience.
With the spirit, compassion.
Compassion. Yeah, we dealt with it with compassion. Never did I
He requested scriptures. Scriptures was on point.
The scriptures on point. So we dealt with it according to the spirit. Because you know we come into those times where Most High is going to start manifesting men like that. Why? For the healing.
For the healing, yep.
For the healing purposes. It's not always about condemning. That was a through the spirit, a prelude to what's to come. Because more and more men like that are going to come. Why? Because they need it now.
They're going to ask for healing. We're going to heal them. You know?
I said through the spirit, I'm like, now you got homeless people across the street.
Yep.
It wasn't like this when we first started coming.
Nah, it wasn't.
Now we getting all kind of, why? Because where the light goes, where the light is.
The light is.
You know that the one scripture when they waited by the water to get healed. That's
yeah, the chariot came down. The chariot came down.
They're waiting for us to get healed.
Everybody to get healed.
God said that He wants to get healed.
Yeah.
Nobody kept touching. And I'm like, and through the spirit, we patiently waiting for those powers. Because it's going to come to that point where the scripture say, where we going to get into that too, where it says that just the shadow of Peter. The shadow of Peter.
Come.
You know?
I got a piece of
Yahushua's garment, touching his garment. And I'm not likening myself to those men, but the scriptures do clearly say that you shall do greater works.
Greater works.
So this is the time that we're in. You can't be like in that spirit of just, you know, the goddamn doubt, you're drunk. Don't touch shunning people. You can't. You gotta be more than an embracing spirit. What you was gonna hope? What you had?
You go ahead. I'll get it in a second.
All right, go ahead. Start at the top.
This is Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day coming that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
That's right.
And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
That's right. Go ahead.
That it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Yep. So this is going into the coming destruction. But what comes with the destruction? Salvation. Now, what are you about to read? The second verse, right? Yeah, read the second verse.
But unto you that fear my name.
But unto you that fear my name. Go ahead.
Shall the Son of Righteousness arise.
Yahushua. We read Matthew the 10th chapter. We read Matthew the 4th chapter. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Spirit, casting out devils, unclean spirits, cleaning the lepers. You know, the lames.
Come.
Go ahead.
With healing.
With healing. See, Yahweh Shai is coming with healing. Because our people need healing, man. You know? Because we understand how spirits work. We're not looking at him like, oh, he's just some crazy ass man. No, it's a spirit on you.
Right.
It's an evil spirit on you that's got you acting.
If I may say, even the scriptures talk about how they brought lunatics unto Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
That's so that is first with that epilepsy or
that madness.
The lunatic, it makes them think and alter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That legion.
Yeah, and then it's part of the curses too. Deuteronomy 22:28.
Yep.
That shall be smitten with mischievous madness.
Yep.
You know, so there's a lot of our people that are suffering under the curse of being mad, plagued with demons in their mind. King David said that. He said, "Give me not the plague of the heart." You know.
That's right.
But I got a precept real quick. This is Zechariah 8:23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew.
Skirts.
Saying, we will go with you, but we have heard that God is with you.
See, just like how when Yahweh Shai healed that man, they had the legion on him. They tried to bind him down, and he wouldn't stay bound. When he got healed, what did he say? He said, "Let me follow you, Lord." See, we're coming into those times where, man, like we always say, man, everybody always focusing on Isaiah the 4th chapter about 7 women shall cleave. It ain't just gonna be women that's gonna cleave onto you, man. It's gonna be families, whole families. Whole households are gonna cleave to you. Why? Because you got the spirit. Somebody get matter of fact, what did I ask you? Read 4 and 2 Obadiah 1 and 18. I think that's 18. Yeah, finish it up. Savior.
In his wings. This is back in Malachi 4 and 2. I started.
These camps ain't play, man.
But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing.
Healing, man.
In his wings.
Our people are plagued with demons, man. All right? These children got demons. These women have demons. These men have demons. The old, young, they got demons, man.
They are the spirit.
All right? The scriptures tell us that we wrestle not with flesh and blood. This is a spiritual battle. And I'm dealing with him. I'm like, man. And you know, through the spirit, I'm looking at him. And I'm looking over at the brother. I'm like, well, the brother, because I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, the brother ain't gonna grab him up. Then it's the spirit. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, the spirit gonna have it where the brother gonna intervene and take him. But it didn't happen that way. So the spirit wanted him right there. Because you gotta think, this is the temple. This is the altar. This is spiritually I'm not saying us particular, but we represent part of that gate of beauty, man.
Well, matter of fact, can I read this real quick? This is Isaiah. Now I read Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19, I read it earlier, but I'm going to read it again. This is Isaiah 19 and I read 18.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking the Hebrew, speaking the language of Canaan. This is the next verse, in verse 19. And then it says, Egypt shall know the Lord, meaning America. You people here in Babylon and America, the spiritual Egypt, you're going to know that Yahweh Shai is here. Okay? And it's going to be mainly through his men, through his prophets. Okay? It says, in that day, there shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. All right, and that altar in the spirit is these camps, man. They have 100% truth. Okay, these camps that are going out here week in and week out, day in and day out, telling you the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, it says, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness.
A witness to who? The people.
Right. It says we are made a spectacle unto angels and unto men. They see us. People says we have a great cloud of witnesses. Meaning people see us out here. Like the two unsavory black women that came up earlier talking about the sign, saying the sign is accurate. They're witness. They see us out here. All right? And let that curse go on to them.
Let mark to them.
Yeah, you know. But it says, and this shall be a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors. What we're just talking about Esau being a damn bastard? You know what I'm saying? He's the oppressor.
In some way, somehow, you know, we don't know his condition.
Right.
It could be Esau's fault for that shit.
It is Esau's fault for that shit, man.
See? But then Jake wanna give Esau this big boy hood pass, man. Look what he's doing to our people. A lot of these people with sicknesses and mental issues is because of Esau, the so-called white man's pharmaceuticals, his food, the air we drink, the water. You know, there's a reason why Chicago and parts of Michigan is so violent. Lead in water, lead poisoning, or high levels of lead in water increases your violence.
High levels of metal in your brain. You know, that messes with your blood-brain barrier, your equilibrium thrown off. So what does that do? That has spirits, because if you're not equal, something is outweighing.
Somebody get James.
So your whole pH level is off. So if your pH level is off and you're acidic, especially in your brain, that invites evil spirits, bad times, evilness to your body, your brain.
Discomfort.
So
More disease,
more violence. They show you that in that movie, The Crazies, man. All this barium oxide in the air, that's poisoning the minds of the people. The people are violent as hell over there, man.
That's why everybody's with a high level of suicidal, because of all the elements. We are a product of our environment. The environment is poison. What did I quote, James?
James 1 is that?
That's a beautiful scripture, Isaiah 19.
It's a little bit more. All right, it says, for they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a savior.
And that's why the scriptures say that our people are not called by me, that desire it. What is that, Isaiah? Nation called, but ye nation undesired.
Oh, no, that's Zephaniah the second chapter.
Zephaniah the second chapter.
Yeah, Zephaniah 2. It says, and he shall send them a savior, and the great one.
But that savior overall is Yahweh Shai. But that's also talking about us.
I got that right.
So now go to Obadiah.
All right, good. It says, and the great one, and he shall deliver them. Like I said, it's also talking about us too. This is Obadiah verse 21. And saviors shall...
saviors.
Right?
With plural. All right, that's why the Most High has us out here. That's why you can't be a keyboard prophet.
You got to be out here in the streets, man.
See, a keyboard prophet wouldn't have dealt with no situation like that.
There wouldn't know how.
Yeah, Malak Shah, you bitch ass nigga. That's right. I gotta just say it like that. Because you talking a hell of a lot of shit from the comfort of a truck driving seat. The Most High wants you out here, boots on street, man.
That's right. Boots on the ground, so to speak.
Boots on the ground, because when you out here, you gotta deal with shit like that. There's a reason why Yahweh Shai was worn out, man. Them situations. 1 minute you got people that's crying out for you to help them. 1 minute you got people that want to kill you. 1 minute you got people that want to debate you.
Disciples acting stupid sometimes.
You got your men around you sometimes get simple. That's why when you go home, you tired as all hell. This ain't no easy task out here.
Hey, that's why when he was in that ship and that storm came, he could sleep through it, man, because he needed rest. You know, he needs rest, man. You know, it says, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau.
Now go to Matthew 5 and 14 real quick. Hold that right there. Matthew 5 and 14.
This is Matthew chapter 5 and 14.
You just read in Isaiah 19 that ties into that. Go ahead.
It's ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
And we represent Jerusalem. We can't be hid. That's why we said we changing the neighborhood. Ever since we came out here, man, this strip, when we first came out here,
was dead.
This strip was dead.
Nobody was
literally the first few weeks we came out here on Saturdays, we didn't even have all this walking up and down the streets. It wasn't even all this walking up and down the streets.
It wasn't as much driving.
It wasn't even as much driving. I remember the first few times, it was just like, man, it's quiet out here.
Yeah, we was a good spot just to teach. Now we getting people coming up, Israelites coming up. You know,
people stopping in the street.
Scoffers.
We got homeless, scoffers. We changing the environment.
That's right.
That life, we cannot be hid. Read that again.
Isaiah, Matthew chapter 5 verse 14,
Yep.
it says, ye are the light of the world.
You read that in Isaiah 60. Arise, shine, for ye are the light, and shine your light amongst the Gentiles. All right? Which are the Israelite forms? What?
It says, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
You can't hide it, man. No different than the very top of the Empire State Building. You can't hide that. And what?
God, verse 16, it says, let your light shine, Salah. Let your light so shine before men.
And see, that's where these other camps go wrong. They force their light. We don't force our light. Why? Because the Spirit of the Lord is in us. We don't gotta force it. So when we go out, we don't gotta, listen. The type of, and it's not just me, it's all these brothers, because we share our experiences with each other. The type of experiences I go through in my day-to-day, just being a regular black man in America, a citizen, so to speak, you know, just being generic, man, it blow people away. Why? Because it's a spirit. Jay gonna start coming to you on your job because they drawn by your spirit, man. It ain't because you got on, you know, look at the garment.
Hey, if I may say, because you were talking about testimony every day, and you talk about Jake at your job. I just, recently just left one of the occupations that I was working, and my manager and a few other people, when they found out I was leaving, started crying. They giving me hugs.
You ain't been there that long.
I've been there for 4 months. They started crying, like, no, leave.
But we change people, man.
Exactly. That's why you gotta. When you're an ambassador of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, you gotta watch yourself. Because an ambassador represents. Okay, you are representing the Most High Power in the Son. Man. All right, you gotta conduct yourself a certain way. And me seeing that was like, we different, man.
We different, man.
We way different, man. That's light. That's a light that was being. That's a light that I was. What's the word? Generating, I guess. Yeah. And they
could that in Daniel 12.
And they could see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Daniel 12.
And sometimes you even be there and you don't really recognize how much of the impact you put on.
Because you can't see yourself.
Right. And if I can say too, they wouldn't have been crying over no simple 2/3 nigga. They probably been happy his ass going out though. They would have threw a party.
You want to fire your ass anyway.
Right.
I know all y'all brothers, and even the sincere brothers who are watching the stream, like all y'all have gotten that one time or a few times. Man, you different, man.
Yep.
There's something about you.
I get that all the time.
I get it all the time. Because of the light that Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai gave us. Which is that
burning harder and stronger, man. Why? Because we're trimming our lamps.
Yep.
Right.
As we trim our lamps, that light's just gonna shine stronger and stronger, man.
Yep.
So you can't be afraid. Hey, you signed up for it. You got to be ready for it. It's gonna be. It's gonna overtake our regular life.
Yeah. Hey, well, being a future ruler or a king, right? Hey, it's a priest. Okay, it's a known fact that you're gonna have to become a public figure.
That's right.
Even when you look at these certain celebrities and they profile, it'll just say. Now, you don't necessarily know what they do, but it'll say public figure. Because they put their face out there for whatever it is they have a light for it. So whatever their light is, whatever their celebrity is, they're a public figure. They have to deal with, somebody taking their opinion, okay, or somebody taking their statement and it being looked at as, okay, well, this person said this. Oh wow!
We already deal with it.
Incredible.
We already deal with the tabloids.
Yeah.
They rate.
Yep.
Remember that time? Hey, boy, remember that time at camp? That guy came to us and asked us, "Do we eat babies?"
Oh yeah.
Nigga asked us, "Y'all eat babies?"
Y'all eat babies. What?
I looked at him when he said that shit. I was like, "What you think? We just roast babies on the new moon and shit?"
Right. He said, "Why y'all?"
Like we just.
He said, "Why y'all eat babies?"
Yeah, bearing false witness and shit.
No. He said, "I heard y'all eat babies."
Yeah, I heard y'all eat babies.
He's a good ass nigga, man.
But we eat babies, and we out here on the streets.
Right.
We rapists.
Yeah.
Raping little girls and eating babies.
Right.
But you know what? We already deal with the tabloids. We deal with the tabloids. We deal with all of that. Matter of fact, you want to get that? Where's that at? I try to get you fame and land.
Oh, okay.
We have that then. Go ahead. Daniel 12 and you can start at 2. Matter of fact, start at the top. We'll read down.
This is Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up.
See, a lot's got to come in that time, man. The same thing was said in Malachi the 4th chapter. In that day, he shall come with healing and his healing with him. A lot of things are coming in that day, man. We just got to be ready for that day. Go ahead.
The great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
And that's what's coming, man. You see it already. You see martial law. You see the pestilence. You see what's happening on around the world, man. We in that day. It just got to continue to increase. Go ahead.
Even to that same time.
Yep.
And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
That's right, keep going.
And they that be wise.
They that be wise. Who's wise? It sure as hell is not anything surrounding side nigga. Who's wise? All right, we the ones that's got the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Starting with the apostles and elders, and we believe that wisdom is right here. Because if you lean on the wisdom of the other camps, you believe in mermaids. You believe the white man can make it. You believe the black woman is equal of you. You shouldn't hate the 2/3. Volcanoes is going to destroy this place. There is no missiles. Babylon is in America. That's not wisdom. That's foolishness.
Drop sign.
Oh, well, yeah, this is foolish.
Raise out the tribes.
So that's fool's wisdom, and we don't deal with that, all right? Keep going.
Shall shine.
And the wise shall shine. That's that light.
Hey, and that's the difference between fool's gold and true gold. Fool's gold ain't gonna shine. Niggas ain't shining like that. This is what it's like right now.
Yeah, because truly enough, that's what it's about. It's about Jake out here that truly need it, man. We're not out here to bring some words together so it's cute, so some goddamn women could come up and listen and be like, oh, he's smart.
Want to hear something cool?
Want to hear something cool? Right? No, this ain't what it's about, man. It's about bringing this word out to our people, man. All right, and to the Lord, say, hey, mission accomplished. All right? Well done, job done. Finish the course, man. All right, that's it on that, right? Hey, that was it on that.
Yeah. This is Zephaniah 3:19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. This is speaking about the Israelites.
That's right, the elect.
And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
See, praise and fame, brothers. That's what's coming. Apostle Gabar was speaking in one of his last videos. He said we're not going to always be in this low state. The Most High is going to bring His glory to us.
That's right.
And we just got to be patient. You got something? Yeah, come. Let them finish that up.
All right, it says, at that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. That's how you know what's talking about right now.
That's right.
That's why we're going to start seeing these miracles and signs and these wonders happening that the men of the Lord are going to be performing.
You gotta have faith.
You gotta believe that you can do this.
Because in my head, in that situation, I'm in my head. Because hey, matter of fact, you was did you go? You didn't go. That's in Alabama. It was me and Roger Zion and Tazwa. Same thing. We was going into the same subject matter, and we were talking about the Lord healing, things of that nature. And then out of nowhere, this man walked by with his brother or somebody. He was blind. And I'm talking, I'm like, man, it was at camp, and I'm like talking, I'm like, man, and the Most High might put the Spirit on me to heal this man. And I'm sitting there the same thing right there. I'm like, man, the Lord do that, man. Man, we about to close up camp and something about to happen, man. But I'm thinking in my head, because it's not going to just be pump fakes like that. One day, it's going to be a brother that's speaking, and he's like, you know what? In the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I rebuke that demon on you. And then you're going to feel it leak, and it's going to happen, man. That's right, brother. It's in San Francisco. LA, yep, with that woman. See, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. And what you think? This brother right here, you do that, man. What you think going to happen, man? That's fame. You can't be a regular man and you know. And if it was to happen to somebody, it would be like a brother like Kabash. You know, the quiet one. Now he blown up. He on World Star. 10 million views and shit.
That's how it's shot, man.
That's how it's shot.
Even when I think it was in the book of Matthew, where he told the disciples straightway get onto the ship. And when they got onto the ship, he sent the multitudes away. You know, a lot of people came to him. Every time he healed somebody, he was like, don't tell nobody. And they wouldn't tell everybody.
Tell nobody.
Hey, look, hey, I'll say this too. You know, we talking a lot about the famine of the word. The internet thing, right? You know, with the internet and YouTube. But a lot of, before this internet goes, a
lot of things got to happen.
You know, brothers going to be doing miracles, man, because they got to get out there. You know?
It's got to happen. I believe a lot of stuff.
That's why that's probably why they're going to have to. Oh, man, they're doing miracles now? Nah,
hit the button.
Hit that button. Shut it down.
Now.
Hit it now.
It's going to be an Edomite behind the scene yanking that goddamn cord. So
the whole wall going to come out.
The plate and all that shit. Get out of here, man. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Because that, matter of fact, go to Hosea 5 and 15, and we're going to get your precept real quick. But hold that real quick. I want to get Hosea 5 and 15. Because as like you said, as it increases, that fame comes, and these people are catching hell simultaneously. Because it might be in that day, a man might run up on you with his child in his hands dead. Yep. Like, it might just happen. You got, like, these are the things. Family, like, man, they killed my daughter out here, these fucking devils. And the spirit might move with compassion on you and be like, you know what, man, it's gonna be all right, brother. And you might not even know the power is in you yet.
Yeah, that might be
you might just be like, man, damn, and I feel your loss, man. And then that energy, that spirit from you and the Lord come through, and that girl wake up, or that boy wake up, man. Yep. That's what is this all about?
Hey, and if the prophets are back now, the prophets got to do what the prophets did. Elijah did it, Elisha did it, Yahushua did it.
12 did it.
The 12 did it. So we're going to have to, if we're the prophets, we got to do the same thing we did before. All right, I didn't have a little bit more.
Keep going.
This is verse 20, Zephaniah 3 and 20. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. But I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity,
you can't talk shit about that. How you talk shit? But you know what? You scoffers, you're gonna find a way to talk shit because it's scriptural. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. We already know. We already know that when the Lord turned this thing up a notch, you hating ass, bootleg ass camps. They did it in the name of Satan. You know? Beelzebub. He healed him in the name of Beelzebub.
You know they worship Baphomet.
You know they got right. You know it's gonna be some excuse.
Right.
Hey, but you know what? Fuck you niggas.
Hey, with the power of healing, you gotta have the power of death too. You got to touch one of you niggas and fall out.
Combust.
Keep scoffing.
Yeah, keep scoffing, man.
Keep scoffing, man.
Hey, we gonna keep doing what we doing, and y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Any more to that?
That was in
the net. What? Hosea 5 and 15, we go to yours, come on.
This is Hosea 5 verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face.
How they gonna seek the face of the Lord? Through the prophets. Didn't we just say well, we didn't read it, but in Isaiah it tells you that your teacher shall not be pushed in the corner no more. Yeah. You know, the saviors. We brought all these points out to bring to the point that when all hell breaks loose, these people are going to look for who? Men of the Lord. Keep going.
In their affliction, they will seek me early.
They're going to seek early, man. Real early, man. Okay, real soon it's going to be all hell. And I believe in the spirit, like I always say this, on your job, because we regular people. We're not hiding our identity. You know, we're not on camera. We're not on camera with a V for Vendetta mask on and changing our fucking voice. We out here just straight what you see. You know? So what's gonna happen? It's people that see us right now on our jobs. You go to your gym, your grocery store, your local gas station where you live at. There's people that see you that know you, and they know what you do. but the Spirit don't move them to say something to you because out of fear that because if you watch us on camera, we do seem like
Right.
unapproachable men.
Right.
It might be a woman. She's like, but he be so hard on the women. he curses them out. I don't want to get cursed out. Or like, man, nah, he talking to some folks. Jake be afraid. But something gonna happen where it's like, listen, man, listen. I know you teach. Matter of fact, I know your name. You come from. Okay, I watch you. I know you in these videos. Listen, man, what do I do? It's gonna be like that. What you gonna do? You gotta think that. We know we just waiting for it to happen. We're not just going, no, we're gonna step up to the plate, man. Listen. Follow the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why we do it repetitive now. What else do we do now? We should repetitively tell them, hey, follow the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hey, repent. Hey, get right. Keep going. That was it. Read it again. Matter of fact, Kabash, what yours up?
This is John chapter 17, verse 22. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one.
And as we get closer and closer with each other, that's what the Spirit is moving on, making this brotherhood tighter. Once we become that true one body, all that bullshit, all the fat is trimmed out, all the foolishness amongst the body. That's what the Most High is doing. Shit, in our camp in 1 year, last year we lost 7 men. The Most High is weeding them out. Matter of fact, get that in I know you hold some. Get Amos 9. I got it. Amos 9 and what's that? 9 and 9? 9 and 8? What's 9 and 8 say? Yeah, read that.
This is Amos 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord.
No, skip that 11. I'm slacking.
This is Amos 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
That's what's happening. Most High is closing these breaches up. Why? Because there's people amongst us that don't deserve to be amongst us. So once those undesirables are cast out, you got wholeness. You got a unity.
Well, we're gonna be as tight knit as what is it? Job 41? As tight knit as Leviathan's skin. We're not even air can penetrate. That's how it's tight knit. What's that? Psalm 133? The unity of brothers. That's how we're gonna be very. I think that's Psalm 133. We're gonna be so tight knit, you ain't gonna be able to penetrate that. Can you read that?
Yeah.
This is Amos 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle.
You notice like multiple of the scriptures we keep reading, keep saying in that day. Because we're touching on a lot of things that's going to be coming to pass in that day. Keep going.
Of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches.
This house is almost done, man. If you've ever worked on houses, building houses, the apostles and elders, they laid the foundation. They laid the foundation. If you've ever been through the process of building a true house, a house from the ground up, once you get the ground level, graded, you get that foundation in the ground, you let that settle in, you throw your framing up. Man, after that, once the framing's up, you got your electricity going, you got your plumbing, you got your cable running. Then you throw sheetrock up. It's all detail work in there. That's what's going on right now. I believe the house is done. We got brothers coming in, clean up.
Yeah, we opening the door.
The house is done. But it's just the little pieces that detail work. Detail work, it takes time to work on houses.
Hey, we going through putting the blue tape on certain things.
Yep, come back and retouch this paint, wipe that window down, make sure that the shrubs in the front is clean, put the mulch down, sweep the driveway. It's light work stuff because the foundation's been laid. So the Most High is closing the breaches up. Yeah,
I got super quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Breaches.
Bring it out.
Because even when he closed the breaches, that's the family of the words. Because he's gonna close his words up as well.
That's right.
And you're gonna have to. These people gonna have to seek it. That's when you're saying like, bro. When they find you, they're gonna be like, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be out and about, they're gonna be like, oh, a rock.
They found it. They found it. So I'm gonna get this real quick, and I'm gonna let you
Especially
finish.
calling me that.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 1. And it said, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. Those days again, because the word of the Lord is going to be very precious. When you go into the word precious, it's in the Hebrew, it's yakar, which means valuable or weighty. Okay? It says,
what verse you reading from?
Verse 1, 1 Samuel 3 and 1. It says, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. Because when everything shuts down, the only men who had the vision were the men who were doing the work right now, which you see.
Who already got the light.
Who already got the light, okay? And once everything shuts down, everybody gonna be searching for that because they ain't got the vision. You know?
They can be in that darkness.
That's right. And the word of the Lord is gonna be super precious, like a ruby, man. It's gonna be hard to find.
And most not gonna find it.
And most not gonna find it. Ain't gonna be no faith in it. Ain't gonna be no faith.
Because it's gonna be things out here that's gonna make it where, because the faith of this world is based upon their credit score, what car they in, how much money they have in their hands. You know, it's of tangible things. But when all the tangible things are stripped from them, and there's nothing left but what's in with what they hold inside of them, they're gonna crumble. Somebody has.
You can keep going.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
That's it. We're going through the. I know brothers, love to say, well, it's true. We're going through the book of Acts. Well, we're going through the book of Ezra again, rebuilding the temple, rebuilding the house of David. Okay, because what? He said, repeat that last part.
And I will build it as in the days of old.
As in the days of old. Because when you read 2 Chronicles, the 36th chapter, the temple was destroyed. And then we got the order from Cyrus to rebuild it. Well, guess what, man? We got the order right now to rebuild the house of David in the days of old. But it's a spiritual building right now. You know what I'm saying? You want to do something real quick?
No, you got it, brother. Keep speaking.
Go on. Is that it? Go on.
I was looking for it. I was looking for it. You keep going.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if that's the case, man, get Jeremiah 31. Yeah, get Jeremiah 31, because we're going to go through. And no, get Ezekiel 37. And I think it's like, it's a lot. Ezekiel 30, yeah. This is Ezekiel, get Ezekiel 37 and start at 20.
Yeah, we working the strip. We got this strip like
this is Ezekiel
like
37.
125th in Harlem.
Yeah.
Verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side.
That goes to show you that we're all scattered abroad. We're going into the Gentiles and whatnot earlier. Hey, you wrote Galatians 2 and 6.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
And bring them into their own land.
And bring them into their own land. Okay, that's when we all get caught up and go back to Israel. Go ahead. But I'm gonna bring this around to the house of David. Go ahead.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
That's right. This is the new covenant. I told the brother to hold Jeremiah 31, but you can even read it in the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, 86.
86. Go ahead.
And one king shall be king to them all.
One king shall be a king to them all. Go ahead.
And they shall be no more two nations.
Go ahead.
Wait, so if I can say, because you got them idiots, those sour Samaritans, talking about we in the new covenant, man.
Nah, bro.
Nigga, what drugs are you smoking?
That's the easiest thing to cover.
Some of the, you must be on that K4, man.
Hey, you know how there's like some dumb shit people say that don't even deserve to be acknowledged? That's one of them.
And that's how I feel through the spirit with these a lot of you stalkers, man. I'm not even gonna waste battery power on you stalkers no more, man. I ain't even gonna waste a rechargeable battery power on you niggas no more, man. Niggas riding on a boat talking about they liberated.
Yeah, I saw that shit. Got no free sickness. I got it free, a good day outside. I'm like, what the hell?
Nigga, get that. You rented the boat first of all. You gotta get a license, a permit. Go fish without a license, a permit, and see what the fuck happens. Matter of fact, ride that boat. Matter of fact, if you liberated, why'd you niggas have on life vest? Because you know the fucking water police or whatever you want to call them come your way. Water patrol. All right, water 12. And they see you ain't got no vest on, what they gonna do? They gonna give you a ticket, nigga. Hey, you just a nigga on a boat.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms. That's what that goes back to that scripture where it says Ephraim shall not vex or envy Judah. Because Ephraim is a top tribe. Ephraim is a top tribe of the northern. Judah is a top tribe of the southern. Go ahead.
But they said the 12 tribes sign is false. So when is this prophecy going to come to pass? But first off, for the northern and the southern to come together, we will have to identify who the northern and the southern is. By what? Prophecy. What they call it? Denomination. When you boil things down to the least common denominator. You know, and we know that through prophecy, history, records, archaeology, experience, the spirit.
Most High gonna start doing you false ass prophets like how the Lord did Eli's sons.
Well, it says that in the book of Matthew, 7th chapter. They came casting out devils in his name, but he says, no, bro. Everyone, says Lord should not into the kingdom of heaven.
And the Most High gonna start doing some things, man.
He'll start working,
We was reading about Eli's sons and the Lord prophesied, man.
He told Samuel in the previous chapter. What was it? Like chapter 2. They told him in like chapter 2, yo, what the fuck Eli shit up? So just get ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And then chapter 3 came, they all died in the battle. Yep. Even the daughter-in-law.
The children that they said that your children shall die in the flower of their age. Because I think, what did she name one of her sons?
Ichabod,
yeah.
Which means no glory.
He told Eli, old man, someone of a man of old age shall not enter into the household.
That's right.
Most High gonna start doing that to you other camps, man.
And you notice how the Most High did that systematically. It was just, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this.
Follow the tradition.
And then he told Samuel. He said to Samuel that basically that he established Samuel's name. He gave Samuel that fame. He told Samuel that everybody from Dan to Beersheba knew that Samuel was set up to be a prophet of the Lord. They knew it. All of Israel knew. There ain't gonna be no more that well, I don't know if it's GMS or if it's them. Nah, you gonna know. You gonna know. Then shall there be known that a prophet has been amongst you. Keep playing, Israel. Keep playing, Israel. Keep playing, yeah. And like that's beautiful even with that scripture because it's going into that. Because it's like you got these camps. We don't know who the 12 tribes are. But the scriptures clearly tell you that for us to be in the new covenant, that both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom have to come back together.
You gotta identify who's Judah and Ephraim have to be identified so they can come back together. Who's Judah and who's Ephraim?
Hey, nigga, just go ride a boat. You go ride a boat, Malak Shah, you go drive a truck. It's gonna be Babylonian.
Hold on, man.
This is back in Ezekiel 37, verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. Okay, because what? You got Exodus 20. Okay, you ain't supposed to be doing that nowhere.
Right.
Exodus 34 it tells you not to make any molten image. So go ahead.
Nor with their detestable things.
Detestable things. Go ahead.
Nor with any of their transgressions.
So they ain't gonna go off no more because of what? Jeremiah 31:31 is gonna be written in our inward parts. Okay, go ahead.
but I will save them out of all their dwelling places. Here, that game, Babylon. Shout out the Psalm 23, man. Here, okay, go ahead, but you know we got 144 across the four corners. But go ahead, bro. Wherein they have sinned, and will cleansing them, so shall they be my people, and I will be their God. Yeah, and I'll be their power. You know, keep going, because I'm tying this all back around to the house of David. And real talk, you two-third niggas and scoffers and these other crazy ass Israelites, y'all profane too. Y'all outside the temple. Y'all outside the house of David.
A lot of them niggas is more profane than these regular Joes walking up and down.
You know, because that, what does it say? What's that, Jeremiah 2:15? I may be going, that may be not. But it goes, why turnest thou away?
Oh, yeah.
Well, but it also says,
Jeremiah 2, what?
2:33, go back and shop the same quarter. Because you got to read what it says after what it says, trim thy ways. So go ahead, bro. And David, my servant, shall be king over them. Okay, David, my servant, shall be king over them. He should be the prince, okay? There's an order. So why are we building the house of David if there's going to be no king? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. We're building the house for the king. This is the house of David. So reread that. We got to build the house of David. This is back in Ezekiel 37:24. And David, my servant, shall be king over them. And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments. Me and the brother were having a side conversation because we're going into like how we're gonna have all power, sovereignty. But when you go into the word monarchy, it means a ruler or one ruler.
All
Okay.
have one shepherd.
One shepherd.
That's a monarch.
That's a monarchy. That's a kingdom. Okay.
Mono, the preacher mono means
There you
one.
go. It means one. There's gonna be one sitting on the throne. Okay, and everybody else. Sovereignty, meaning absolute power. The brother told me to look up dynasty. It's gonna be dynasty.
Bloodline.
A bloodline. Go ahead,
So
bro.
the dynasty is basically goes back to the word like dynasty, which basically a ruler of a bloodline. Because everything has always been a bloodline, even to this day. Even though you have all these different presidents. Hey, what you had is one chick. She has linked up all the presidents and said they are actually related.
They're all related.
Yeah, they all related.
You know?
She did that. She was like,
And they all link back to Queen Elizabeth. I got a quick picture if you don't mind to add that. This is Hosea 3:5. And it says, and afterwards the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their power and king and David their and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
And David their king. It said they seeked in David their king. They seek David too. You know?
So you had little ways of David. Meaning you have to go into the scriptures, see how David ran the kingdom, which he did. He wrote it, ran it upon righteousness. You have to read about the mighty men, the men that was a part of David's army. You got to see that David's army had a lot of enemies, and David hated Edomites, man. He wasn't on there. Can't touch those Edomites. Nah, he was cutting them goddamn Edomites up.
That's why him and Joab, they waited, how long? It was like 2 months? No, 6 months. 6 months to lock you? They doubled. Half a year.
just to go with that.
Just to go and make sure that all these goddamn devils were eradicated.
Yeah, I think
Hey.
Joab was the one that was like, was waiting. Yeah. And, when you go into the history of that time period, like I said, like you got to know about King David and all of that. Scholars call it the United Monarchy. Okay? The time when Israel was united under one rule, the United Monarchy. King Saul, King David, and King Solomon. We call that the United Monarchy. And that's what we're getting back. Okay? To be united again under one rule, one king.
If I can say something too, because really the fall of that monarchy really was with King Solomon. After King Solomon, his king's reign, which was prophecy that he was going to fall and the kingdom was going to fall with it, so to speak. But when Solomon fell, when you go into the history, who came and slithered out the crevices as always? Esau. This is 1 Kings 11, and I'll start at 13.
Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom.
Hey, you notice it. It emphasizes it. Like the Edomite, the adversary. He said stirred up an adversary. Satan stirred up Satan and used it in the form of who?
Hadad the Edomite.
Goddamn Edomite. The boisterous
Did he go back to Agag?
Huh?
He probably went back to Agag.
Well, say he was
He from the king's line.
With Saul, whoever the fuck Saul is, you got blood on your hands. You got a lot of blood on your hands.
Yeah,
Saul.
yeah, but you know what? I say he do. But you know, it was prophesied too in the law that he was gonna have war with Amalek forever. That was just how it played out to King Saul.
Even until
But yeah, whoever King Saul is, hey, when you want to help the spirit of the Lord to use.
And David's house is the only house that could clean up the house of Esau.
Yeah.
Because Saul's house was the one that was spared, man. You know, it was all about just being disobedient. So we already know in the spirit. And that's why the Most High got a real warrior spirit on the men of GMS, man.
Can I add to what you're saying? That's how you know it's got to be the house of David. Because the house of David was warned, because they tell you in 2 Samuel that the house of David was warned with the house of Saul and Esau, man. And that's what we want with. We want, if here it is, you'll sit down, you're going to do a lesson cursing out Esau, and then you see your goddamn timeline on YouTube, and it's a nigga saying that Job was a righteous Edomite. Right. So then you gotta hit them. You gotta pause that lesson in your spirit. You gotta curse the nigga out.
Curse the nigga out, man.
We at war with niggas and Esau, man. Oh, we ain't the men.
Verse 15, for it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom.
So wait a minute. David was a man after the Lord, after the ways of the Lord, right? The Most High's heart. So nobody. Matter of fact, Samuel was a Levitical priest, one of the top priests. He knew the law. Why did he bring out Deuteronomy 23 and tell him, "Whore not those Edomites"?
He chopped them up. He the one that issued out the law. He chopped them up. He could have said that would have been him breaking the law, and he's the priest.
Right. Like he did. He chopped Agag up.
Yeah, he chopped him up.
And that was worse than just abhorring. That was hate.
Mutilated his ass.
Mutilated.
He could have just chopped his head off. He chopped him.
Stabbed him in his side peaceably. Go see your nigga. They chopped his ass up. He probably waited, chopped his arm off once.
He shot him.
He's probably alive, chopped his leg off.
You know how I did it? How your dad used to whip you, mother. You tell your stories that you mother.
Yeah, like Trump your
you know what I'm saying?
Had blood all over the garment. Probably went and ate a lamb plate afterwards.
Right.
Hey, like old dog on fucking old dog and them on Mississippi. Just kill a nigga and just y'all hungry?
Hey, that goes to show you too, man. Get that mentality of a priest being on. No, Nehemiah was getting down too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
priests were warriors.
Moses
Moses
and Aaron were warriors.
Moses didn't stop going. He was still at war at the age of 80 years old. He was still going at it.
Cleaning up shop.
Yeah, he was a Levite.
So that's part of the. That's part of the. What's in the first or whatever?
All right, it says that, we're going back to 16. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom. That Hadad fled.
And that snake slid it through the grass.
Slide
bastard.
Slide
That
devil.
snake in the grass bastard.
Snake and bastard.
That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go into Egypt. Hadad being yet a little child. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran.
Who's fleeing to Egypt?
Egypt was always a
safety.
area of safety. Yep.
Refuge type
Yeah. And they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him in the house, and appointed him victuals and gave him land. So that's really the main point, you know.
And showing you that the men of old, they didn't have the spirit. Of course, it was prophecy, but the men of old, they didn't accomplish that job. It's the men now that have to accomplish the job that our forefathers didn't fully accomplish. Because some of them deviated. Solomon fell short. You know, and like I said, the prophecy came to pass where the southern kingdom would be broken up. But David's house is coming back together, which David's house was the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom collectively. That's why it says that I will bend the bow of Ephraim and Judah, matter of fact, will come against Greece.
Thou Greece. But you can go ahead and
and observe my statutes. 37:25. And they shall dwell.
When the water bus started.
Ezekiel 37:25. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever.
But it said in there, what is that? Verse 25, that they shall what? They shall what? Pretty much they shall keep the commandments. Ephraim and Judah. Okay? That's how that's how you
Go over that number.
Zechariah 9:13, it says, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons of Zion against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. All right, and that's the spirit that the house of David was pumped up. That's how we're going to be, as a mighty man. Upon who? Upon these Edomites, man. Self-proclaimed Grecians. All right? You know? Because the Lord, you know, what he's going to do is he's going to bring back that united monarchy. Okay? All you rebels, all you Israelites of the house of Saul, all you backbiters, all you haters, okay? Y'all are going to be done away with and destroyed. The only people that are going to remain is the elect of the house of David, of the nation of Israel, man. Okay? That's it.
Because it's going to get to a point where it ain't going to be no more GMS or alphabet camp. Because that alphabet camp, that's through the Spirit, that's the Lord using that to cause division. All right? But
and to distinguish.
But after a while, it's not going to be needed no more. It's just going to be the men of the Lord, and who do the men of the Lord represent? The house of David, the 144,000, the elect, the election, the calling. That's what it's all about, man. And when that house come together, man, it's going to get violent.
We're talking about the same.
Oh, that's the Spirit, man.
See what evil does. It's going to be put out forever.
And see, we blessed it, man. And I bet the apostles talking about the same thing right now.
Yeah.
I bet
we all one Torah, one mind.
We in the same house. Just different rooms.
Because you know, in the same house, it's going to be one sound system. We're going to play one song. It ain't going to be in this room, you playing 2 Chainz and orchestra music over here. And Latin music down there. This is confusion. It's going to be one song, one spirit.
One surround system.
One surround system. Ephesians the 4th chapter.
You know, and what it's about? It's about the Lord bringing the nation of Israel back. Okay?
Yeah, Esau, shoot your shot, man.
Yeah, man, shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
All you doing is letting us power up, man.
Yeah.
If he was smart, he'd go ahead and hit us while we still in this predicament. But it don't matter, because when he hit us, that's going to take it to a new level.
He's all very confident. He knows that we ain't just any niggas.
So every action is a reaction. Shut down the internet. All right,
You got to start.
you come up with this. All right, bet. We got spiritual power now. The Lord, this that's Isaiah 59:19. He's lifting up his standard. To every action is a reaction. You know, we just need you to move. Come on, baby.
Yeah, you got first dibs. First dibs. You the one that's the so-called king of Babylon.
Hey, we playing one-on-one in this fight, man. It's your ball, man.
Shit, man, you cried for your blessing.
Right.
Use it.
Hey, check up. Hey, check up, man. Check up.
But Esau know the prophecy.
No
It
take
says,
back.
Sword, Yahweh Shah told Peter, he said, they that live by the sword shall die by the sword. So Esau know that at the end of the day, all these things are going to fall upon him.
I got Psalms 50:19. It says, "Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit." And this is going into the spirit of you so-called self-proclaimed white people, man. All right, you Edomites. You giving your mouth to evil. Hey, and that's why brother's saying, shoot your shot. You got everything lined up on the books. You know, you got your legislation, you got your drones in place. Go ahead and do something, man.
Do it.
Do it. All right? It says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Bring the persecution. Bring all them false accusers. Okay? Bring the lies and the deception, man. Make us a public enemy on TV. It's not gonna matter, man. Okay?
Hey, send your news out here.
Yeah, send your news. Send your Fox and your CNN. Okay? This verse 21. All right? It says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Esau hate that.
And we're being set in order right now.
Yep.
Okay? This is the Israelites being set in order before all the world's eyes right now. Okay? Everyone's seeing us come back to our true power. Alright? And the thing about it is, as soon as you shoot your shot and miss, that's when the Heavenly Father is going to slam dunk your ass into destruction.
Because what's the scripture say?
Slam dunk a missile on your ass.
What's it say? Was it Jeremiah? It tells that the Lord make Israel a fenced brazen wall.
Yep.
So shoot your arrow. Arrow, they're going to hit that stone wall and slide down.
Slowly.
And Esau knows he's not as effective. Tells you that in Isaiah 14. See, this is spiritual warfare, and the Lord is wearing this double down little by little. The other nations are getting the same power as Esau. They bucking up, getting cocky. What they said, has thou become weak as weak? Esau knows at the end of the day he's losing his grip on control. That Job 9:24, that prophecy is letting up, man.
Satan divided against Satan.
Lamentation, the 4th chapter, the cup is passing. We already drunk that cup. We drunk it fully. Everybody, you can watch the Brutes, you can watch all these slave movies and see how we got beat down to the ground. But hey, when you leave something at the ground, it got to come up eventually. That's why the apostles always say it's like a Boeing, man. You push it down, that floatable thing that's in the water, you can push it down for so long, but it's gonna pop right back up, man.
And a buoy always gonna rise up. The truth is gonna rise up to the top. Do it.
So you can't, but you, like you say, you do shoot your shot, man.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Well, I got a precept. It's Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Hey, and nothing hasty ever works.
Nope. Sloppy.
Never works. It's sloppy.
Hey, a good movie that shows an example of that, Black Panther, with Killmonger.
Oh yeah.
He was too hasty and it works.
Yep.
And that shit just folded. That shit folded. It's the same thing that's gonna happen with Esau. Even with that Revelation 12, even when you go down further into that, it said what? That the flood came onto the woman.
Verse 13. Because he knoweth that he had but a short time, And when the dragon saw that he was cast onto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
What? That's the song that make it not to be.
And they knew that Yahweh's coming was the beginning of the last days. So that's why Herod, he went out of his way, he pushed policy, he did a diligent search to figure out where Yahweh was going to try to get Yahweh.
Hey, that's the spirit too, man. Because even when Joseph fled into Egypt, and when he came back, he didn't go back to Bethlehem. He went to Nazareth, so Yahweh tried to be a Nazarene to fulfill prophecy. But when you go into history and figure out why he went that way, it's because when he came back, obviously King Herod was dead, but his two sons started ruling in two different provinces. And one of the sons in their provinces were killing Jews. They said in history, the governor of Syria at the time, I forgot his name, he crucified 2,000 Jews. And Joseph was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and go to Nazareth.
Let me swerve over.
It's like us saying like, man, I don't want to go to Decatur. I'm just going to go to Buckhead. I'm not going to go to Buckhead. I'm going to go to Decatur.
Which city?
Comes out of Nazareth. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So he had to move and shake in the spirit, man, because he knew it was cracked up. Same thing with Moses in Egypt.
Yeah.
You know? And it's the 2018 Planned Parenthood, 2018 Margaret Sanger, the abortions and things of that nature. They try to cut this line off. Continuing on, says, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
A standard.
Yeah.
A standard.
And escape. Exit route.
It says that they might fly into the wilderness. Yeah, I was trying to talk to you. What did the Maccabees do? They go into the mountains, to the wilderness. What we gonna do when everything pop up? The same thing that we were doing back then. I'm gonna say that we were doing because we were those winners. More winners,
Hey, Herod is back.
Herod.
Yeah, he might be.
He's probably Trump.
Same spirit. Pushing heavily, just kicking because he want to kill all the
everybody.
Yeah.
Trump is a psychopath.
Hey, but he had psychopaths. The Caesars were psychopaths. That's why the kingdoms were known as beast kingdoms. Alexander the Greek, he was known as a blatant homosexual.
Hey, debaucheries. He died. When you look into Alexander the Greek, he died from living a debaucherous life.
He married an African too. His love was African.
Hey, you know what? Rick Ross said in one of his songs, he said I like Trump because you have to destroy before you elevate. Oh yeah. Hey, I think it was one of his songs called Apple of My Eye. But he said I did Trump because you have to destroy before you elevate. Oh damn right. Yeah, I was right. And I was trying to come back and destroy this place so we can rebuild, so we can elevate, so the Israelites can come up. But he has to give us what? A standard and fly away from this?
Yeah.
You know, while he's trying to come to destroy it.
All right. And to a place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And that's 250 years. Since we had to suffer that, the prophets, and it speaks about Matthew the 25th chapter, how the virgins will fall asleep. It tells you in Thessalonians how the mystery of iniquity would rise up, whose coming is after the workings of Satan. And that's when Esau had full dominance and control. And what did they do through these different time phases? They destroyed the images. They destroyed us from even being a nation. You watch that, going back to roots. They beat the living shit out of Kunta Kinte just to change his name. Why? Because not just because they wanted to change his name and give him a white man's vibration. Well, that's really the reason. But it wasn't just to give him a white man's name, but it was to put that white man vibration on him. All right, to actually break up his full heritage and his culture. You know, and that was systematic. But continuing on.
That's what terrorism is. Terrorism is systematic.
Yeah.
So it happens event by event by event.
Yeah.
You know, and how we got systematically. Well, first off, you know, that's why you got Jeremiah 15:1. The Most High cast us out of his sight, and then from there on, there was a systematic breakdown of the Israelites. But we're systematically being brought back up into our rightful rulership. That's why what it says. Sirach 10:1. transfer to another.
Oh yeah. Through ill dealings, unrighteousness, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from what? Yeah, it is what I'm saying. Yeah. In the later on verses. We can get that too. But verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
True, man. In that day, we might be doing the same thing in Exodus. I think it was when we were walking in circles, and the earth opened up.
Oh yeah, swallowed up the cord.
But we're gonna do it to our enemies.
Hell yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm speaking literally, but even so, spiritually. There's a lot of things that are gonna take place to how we gonna get away from this stuff.
That power got to be shown through us, man.
That power got to be shown. And that's an example of how we're gonna get away from what we want to and how we're gonna get the multitude away too. In the 1/3. It's not just the 1/4. It's the 1/3, and it's in the peaceful multitude. When you read 2nd Ezra 13 and Revelation chapter 7, that's the one. That's the one. That's right. You know, so all the standard's gonna be lifted for the 1/3 and the 1144.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed unto this day. That's why they hate the hell out of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The so-called white man don't really hate the East Indians like that. He knows it's just strictly business. Now, of course, they are all about white supremacy, and they want to put themselves on top of all nations, but they have a detestable hatred for us on a whole, man. They hate our so-called black skin. They teach us to hate ourselves, man. They hate our black rock. You know?
I want to bring up movie references. They go that don't be I be seeing it. You know that don't be a menace? That don't be a menace? Yeah, Bernie's I hate my guns.
I hate the black kids on the piano.
That was systematic
like that to deceive you.
Breakdown of a black man.
Hey, guess what? They gonna sell females like that to deceive you.
Go ahead.
All right. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of the seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High.
These crackers are gonna be working. See, these crackers got to finish this time. Working hard.
I went to make war with the remnant of a seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, which the woman represents Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh.
But the law's done away with.
What? The commandments are done away with. What did the sister say? They went to, what's that? It might go wrong. But it says they went and warred with the Lamb. You know what I'm saying? But when you war with the 1144, you war with our top man in charge.
We foot soldiers. We foot soldiers.
You war with our general.
Trump just put all that money into the space station, man. These white folks and these other nations too.
Yeah.
You know, the Chinese, the Japanese, they ain't putting all this money in the air just for it to look cute on the outside from aerial point of view. Nah, they know it's something out there, something so-called extraterrestrial. You know, they know that there was actually a so-called planet here. You know, they know that there's a power. They know there is a Most High. That's why they set up these individuals to push out this Scientology, push out this atheism, push out these different religions. Well, they just set up this Baphomet statue in what's that? Kansas. You know, why? And they pushing all these things because they want to deceive the minds of the people. But what it says that the devils know that it's that there's a power, and they tremble. So this devil knows exactly what's up. He knows that we're the chosen people. He knows that he's the inferior nation. Going back to science, and I remember learning this in 9th grade. Going back to genetics. They teach you that the so-called blue eyes and blonde hair is a recessive gene, and dark skin and brown eyes is a dominant gene. So they teach you that they're actually the whites are inferior, and the so-called blacks are superior.
Black Klansmen.
Oh yeah. They show you that exactly.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
You know, because he was an Edomite in the movie Black Klansman. He was talking about how they're the superior race. And it's out. He was saying that it's without question. It's without a doubt. They really, even pushing a scholastic curriculum to downgrade you right in front of your face. We can wrap it up. But Lord willing, your brothers was edified, and until next time, Lord, we want to give all glory, honor, and praises unto you.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem, Rakapadash.
The double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone in well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect in 44 first fruit. Until next time, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.